Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on my YouTube channel. I am, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around as we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies, movie news, TV, streaming. Guys, it's Friday. Congratulations for making it through to the end of another week. May you have a wonderful weekend filled with relaxation, fun, friends and family, whatever it is you need. I hope you guys get that weekend. I know I'm going to have a good weekend. I'm going to Vegas this weekend.
Ow, ow.
Ann wants to go see Backstreet Boys this weekend. They're in Vegas, so I'm going to go along. So we're going to have some fun out there. Joining us here today, breaking out of his 2-hour-long stutter, is Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, how you doing today, sir?
John, you know there's a Star Trek convention going on in Chicago today called Mission Chicago.
Is there ever a day that there's not a Star Trek convention going on somewhere?
Well, the high-end Hot Toys-esque company Exo-6 dropped about 20 upcoming, beautiful, high-end, 6-scale Star Trek figures moments ago.
Have you ordered them already? Or
I have ordered all the ones they have put up for pre-order. But the thing about Exo-6 is when you pre-order them, you get them within about 3 months. Unlike Hot Toys, it takes 3 years.
Right.
So, I mean, they even did Crippled Pike from the Menagerie.
Oh, really?
In his wheelchair where he just blinks once or twice. John, you know, we live in wondrous times.
Wondrous times indeed. And one of the people experiencing those wondrous times, joining you guys in the live chat today, he's the one and the only, Ray Ora. Ray, how you doing today?
You know what figure I'm going to get today, Rob?
A Gundam? Are you going to get some more Gunpla?
No, I'm getting some Sonic figures from Target, baby.
Oh, well, okay. Okay.
I'm getting some figures from Target today, baby. They're only $5 too.
He was talking about that as soon as we were leaving the theater yesterday. He was like, because Ann was with us, and he was, gotta go get some Sonic figures. Gotta go get some Sonic figures.
Wow.
So you knew that was a good guy. Also sitting right beside him, equally as happy and giddy about Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Chris Carr. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm so great. I had such a good week. I got to see Sonic. I know you guys enjoyed Sonic. And this weekend, I get to help throw my friend's bachelorette party in Santa Barbara. So, bachelorette shenanigans.
You're going to have a good weekend, too.
Yeah.
Male strippers?
No, it's not that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
what they all say.
No, I hate to break it to y'all. There's not something particularly magical about a donger in your face. It's not a special snowflake.
Anyway, guys,
I have no retort.
Good to have you guys here joining us here today. And here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to break it up into 2 parts. In the first half of the show, we're going to take some predetermined topics. Then in the second half of the show, we're going to take your live comments and questions. If you'd like to get a live comment or question on the show, simply use the super chat feature that is there in the YouTube live chat, and then we will read those off. It's Friday. We will read those off once we get to the end of the main topics. And holy hell, we've already gone over our maximum number of super chats today. So I better turn those off right now. Well, you know, I just announced it. I'll give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There, I got to turn them off. Man, you guys are on the ball with that. Okay, so with all that down, it's a light news day today, which means, you know, it's just as well we have a few extra super chats come in because we could use the time, because it's a pretty light news day, but some pretty fun stuff nonetheless. But before we get to those, a little bit of housekeeping, I want to remind you guys that if you need an audio-only version of the John Campea Show, we have an audio-only version of the show. It's called the John Campea Show Podcast. You can go into your favorite podcasting app of choice, search for the John Campea Show Podcast, and subscribe to it today, so it'll be there when you need it. Also, don't forget we have 2 other podcast feeds. We have a dedicated podcast feed for just our Movie Club podcast. Of course, the last one we just did was for Aliens, one of the greatest sci-fi action films, maybe the greatest sci-fi action film of all time, Aliens. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to that podcast. And also on top of that, we have a dedicated now podcast feed for Mailbag. And Rob's doing a new Mailbag episode today that you'll see up there. So if you're looking for Mailbag, we no longer put it on the main podcast feed with the John Campea Show. It has its own dedicated podcast feed. Go and check it out there. All right, guys. With all that down, let's get into these main topics here today, shall we? And how do we select the main topics here in the John Campea Show? Well, it's really rather simple. You see, you guys come up with them. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, And then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Crashing Coyote. I just got out of seeing Sonic 2, and I was pleasantly surprised. Idris Elba was a great addition as Knuckles. I really appreciate how they kept the best moments hidden from the trailers. I think this is better than the first, and Sonic 2 may be in the conversation for best video game movie. Not that that's a high bar. But it stayed true to the games with what they were able to do whilst also adapting what was necessary in a way that made either logical or narrative sense. Also, if this is indeed Jim Carrey's last performance, I think it's a strong one to end one.
Well, here's the thing, guys. Went to go see Sonic yesterday. As we were just talking about, Ray came with me, Ann came with me. We did our straight out of the movie theater review that we put up on the channel yesterday. It's got me and Ray, and it's got Chris Carr on it. So you guys can go and see that there. All right, so here's the thing about Sonic. The first Sonic was such a pleasant surprise to me. I was not expecting it. I'll be frank. I wasn't expecting it to even be decent. I wasn't expecting it to be good at all. But I ended up coming out of that theater having really enjoyed myself. I thought it was I didn't think it was a fantastic movie, but it was really charming and really good, and I enjoyed it. And I've been looking forward to the second one. So we go off to see the second one. It hadn't gotten the greatest advanced buzz, but I went to go see it, and I'll tell you what, I was delightfully charmed. I'll tell you right now, it wasn't as good as the first one, in my opinion. But the first one is a really, really high bar. Like, there are certain things this one does that's better than the first one. Like, I think some of the action is better, stuff like that. I will say I laughed more in the first one. I found the first one a little bit more charming. But I'll tell you what I freaking loved. Idris Elba's Knuckles. I loved this character. This character to me was so damn good. Like, and the character evolves throughout the movie. And he just goes from being really interesting right at the beginning, and he just gets funnier and funnier, more interesting as you go. And then when you get to the last 10 minutes of the movie, every time Knuckles speaks, I'm like dying laughing. It was really good. There's something that Chris Carr mentioned to me that I'll say here too. She mentioned to me, she goes, you won't get this now, but the whole Hawaii part of the movie was pretty unnecessary. I'm like, all right. And I'm watching the movie now. Yeah, this is really, because even after the movie, I'm thinking, in what way was that relevant to the movie? Like everything, even the one couple, I'm like, how was any of that relevant to the movie? Answer, it wasn't. Okay, fine, whatever. But this is a winner. I think this is a win. Now, it's got a 66% Rotten Tomatoes reading right now, which means a decent majority of the critics like it. But I'll tell you what, the audience seems to be really liking it with 250 verified ratings. Remember, these are 250 fans that Rotten Tomatoes can verify have seen the movie. They've got their ticket stubs, the whole bit. They've seen the movie. 98%. I'll tell you what, it's fun. That movie ended. I was smiling, had a big smile on my face. We came out, we did our post-credit scene of it. Anyway, Chris, you saw it the day before I did. So, and I know you probably out of all of us here, you were the one looking forward to this movie the most.
Yeah.
What did you think about Sonic 2?
I thought it was charming as heck. I really, really enjoyed it. I think Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic in this film are delightful. And that's what I kind of was bummed out about the Hawaii storyline was, well, I don't need this. This doesn't further things for me. When we focus on the core Wachowski family, of Mr. and Mrs. and Sonic, I love that dynamic, and exploring that I think is great. And I wish we kind of focused more on that than the family as a whole, the larger extended family. But that said, the action sequences in here are great. It's really fun and quippy. The tiny nods they do to the video game, they don't slap you in the face with video game references. But if you played Sonic, you're like, oh my God, he just did the thing, which is so fun. Our whole audience was freaking out. And that post-credit scene. I want to know what Ray thinks about that.
Ray,
Yeah.
you went to go see Sonic with me, only fell asleep for 5 minutes of it. But what did you think about the movie?
Every time Sonic did his Sonic-y moves, it looked really cool.
It looked really good.
I loved all three characters, Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic. Their back and forth with each other was great. You know what? I actually think this movie is better than the first one.
Really?
Just because of the extra characters. I got more to choose from, more to like, and the message of it was really warm and kind, like the lesson of the actual movie that Sonic learns. And in the theater. Imagine the first time in the theater when you watched Avengers, the first Avengers, and all the crazy stuff happened. You had a bunch of grown men screaming and cheering. It was the same thing in our theater, but you had the higher little kids' voices cheering, which I thought was adorable because
There was a lot of adult voices cheering.
yeah, including myself.
Yes.
I mean, everything towards.
You have to understand. So you're in this crowded movie theater, and all you hear is, yeah!
I almost cried. But man, the action was that all the way. The end is just awesome. Like after I woke up, I was out of my seat and wow, that ending was really cool. I really liked that. I think everyone should see it, form their own opinion, but I think, people will like this movie.
I would say this too. You could tell in the movie theater who knows Parks and Rec, because there is a Parks and Rec kind of
Yes.
very subtle Parks and Rec shout out in there, and you knew everybody in the theater who's seen Parks and Rec, because when it happened on screen, you could hear like 40 or 50 people in our audience go, yeah, like it was really good.
I'm telling you, I cannot wait for this next Sonic movie, which is always a good thing if you're going to make a franchise, to make you buzz about what's going to happen next, what's coming next. And I can't wait to see Sonic 3. And
Bad news, Ray, there's not going to be a Sonic 3.
There's not?
No, this thing's going to bomb. No, I'm kidding. It's
What?
Killer of Joy.
I now get the dot.
Now I get that reference.
I was laughing for a straight minute afterwards. It was just so funny.
Like if you love Drax, you will love Knuckles. Like,
Yeah, I'd say
Are you
it's
talking
an
about
even.
Hugo Drax from Moonraker?
No.
Oh.
I can assure you she's not. But Rob, like you're hearing all this stuff. I know you finishing off your move and all that kind of stuff. You haven't seen it yet. But
Yeah.
what's your expectation level been for this movie?
Well, look, I mean, I came to Sonic the movie late. I saw it late, and I liked it. I thought it was good. But I mean, the Sonic game I was a little older. Maybe but I mean, I'll see it. It sounds like your strong reactions. You all liked it.
I never played the Sonic game much either. Like I was more our house was a Mario house.
Yeah.
But every time someone brought over their Genesis or whatever, that's the first game I would want to play because it was so different. But as long as you know the basics of what Sonic can do, I don't think you need to know that.
It's just.
I'll
go.
I want to say this too because it should be mentioned. Again, Jim Carrey, it just crushes it as Robotnik. It's so right from the moment. Oh, that reminds me of a pissed off tiny mini rant I need to do here in a second.
ooh.
I didn't see the entire movie.
Oh, right.
What?
I didn't see the entire movie.
Me either.
What?
You want to know why?
Why?
I didn't see the entire movie.
Why, John?
Here's why I didn't see the entire movie. So the start time of the movie is 3:00. We all know that really means the movie starts at 3:30 or 3:29 or 3:28, right? I've always said, because people would say, well, don't worry about it. And I always say, there's too many trailers, And I love trailers, but there's too many of them. People say, well, what's the problem? Just go 25 minutes late. And you never have to sit through too many trailers. Just go 25 minutes late.
25 minutes.
But I've always said, but what happens when they purposely try to fuck you over by, 25 minutes. Oh, only 10 minutes of trailers this time. Oh, I guess you missed 10 minutes of the movie. Guess you better show up at 3:00 or 7:00 and sit through all of our trailers next time. Because I walked into the theater. Movie starts at 3, right? Which means 3:28, 3:29. I walked into the movie theater at 3:18 with popcorn, soda, whatever. The movie had already started. It was actually, I walked in at the end of the first scene. And I'm like, this is why I fucking hate AMC theaters so much. And yet they're my favorite. I hate them.
You have to blame
But
Mr. Aaron.
it's like, it's that inconsistency. So like, I guess you better just show up and sit through our half hour of trailers for a movie that you paid for again. Anyway, I'm not going to hold that against Sonic. It's not Sonic's fault.
Aaron's
Why do you think the trailers were shorter? Do you think it's
Because they want to fuck people over.
No.
No. Seriously. What AMC is going to try to do is they're going to start mixing those in once in a while to manipulate the audience. You got to be there on time and sit through the trailers because, like, that's exactly why they did it.
That's a little deep, though, right there. What if it's?
But I've been telling people for years that's what they're going to do.
Is it though?
It's happened.
What if it's because of the kids?
It's not because of the kids.
That could be though.
It's not, because I've been to a plethora of kids movies that all started half hour after the advertised start time. I've been telling people for years, this is what they're going to start doing. And so fuck AMC. Anyway.
I'll go with you on that one, John. I'll go with you on that one.
Excellent use of plethora.
Yes. The delightful, though, work of Jim Carrey in this. Again, as Robotnik, every time he's on screen, it's infinitely watchable. I really like the dynamics and the interaction between him and Knuckles. The interaction between him and Knuckles, I always thought was really good, and their dynamic I thought was great.
And his henchman, whatever that guy's name is.
Oh,
he was so delightful.
Being back, he was fun.
He's great. I love him. Agent Stone for the win.
I like the act. I can't remember his name. I like the actor in almost everything. But the assistant sheriff, the deputy sheriff dude,
Adam Pally.
not funny in this movie.
They didn't give him some great stuff to work with, I felt.
No. I'm not going to blame him personally because I like him, but just that character was a bit of a waste. That character was a waste.
He didn't need to be there, I don't think.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything to him, nothing.
Didn't do anything significant that even slightly influenced the direction of the film, anything like that. So that could have been gone. The same can be said about the couple in Hawaii.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing that happened with them influenced at all the direction the movie went. But
I also like that they didn't wait to introduce these new characters. It was right away. Like, so you start feeling some sort of, you get a glimpse of their personality, and you get to attach yourself to these characters. I like Tails a lot.
I love
Tails was
delightful.
delightful.
It's like the little brother you always wanted, or the sister, or whatever.
Yeah, well, Tails is a boy in this.
Okay.
But voiced by Colin O'Shaughnessy, the original voice of Tails, who did a great job, kind of going back to our discussion yesterday, though, John, of you got a voice actor. You got a voice actor who does voice acting, and she killed it. She did such a good job. She's so much of the heart of this film.
So much. So anyway, guys, it's all thumbs up around here for Sonic 2. What did you guys think? Did some of you guys have a chance to go see it? If so, what were your thoughts about it? Whatever you think about it, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, the good folks at Manscaped. You know, I was in the shower the other day and I looked down and I thought, my goodness, the boys look fantastic. Dr. Jack Hammer, the amazing Mr. Fantastical, have never looked or felt better, and that is in part due to our friends at Manscaped. Because our friends at Manscaped are the global leaders in below-the-waist hygiene and are turning men's shower dreams into their favorite routine with the all-new Ultra Premium Collection. This all-in-one hygiene skin and hair bundle is designed to upgrade the everyday man's shower routine from head to toe. Your skin, hair, and balls deserve the best, my friends. You start off using the cologne-infused ultra premium body wash with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean and moisturized all day. Then boom, it's time to take care of your hair. Simply apply the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner that cleanses and nourishes your hair all in one step. Then once you dry yourself off and hop out of the shower, it's time to protect yourself from body odor by applying the Manscaped aluminum-free deodorant. And do you have tattoos or any dry skin? A lot of us do. It's time to hit your skin with the hydrating body moisturizer spray. Cap it all off by applying some Manscaped lip balm. And then last but not least, we're moving on to the Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer to clean off any unwanted body hair. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea, that's Campea at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. And a big special thank you to Manscaped for being a sponsor of today's episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys, with that down, let's move on to main topic number 2, shall we? Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This comes from Steven Stranger Things. Hey, John and crew. I just saw your Moon Knight Episode 2 spoiler review and may wonder if the third personality discussed may be Scotty, who the guard and the museum keeps using to Steven. Did Scotty ask the girl on a date? Also, I wonder if Khonshu's voice is Oscar Isaac's but with lower frequency edits. Steven with a V. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in Steven Stranger Things. All right, first thing, let's knock this one out of the park. The notion that it's Oscar Isaac's voice, it's not. It's not. That is another
F. Murray Abrams?
Murray Abrams.
Academy Award
winner from
F.
Amadeus.
Salieri.
Yes, so there's not him. Now listen, I have been loving Moon Knight, which has been so refreshing because I am loving Moon Knight in a way that I was just not able to love Falcon the Winter Soldier, which I liked, but it just was not able to love it like this. I was in a way that I was not able to love Loki. I liked Loki, but I didn't have that love for it. In a way that I was not able to love Hawkeye. I didn't like Hawkeye. I haven't loved something like this from Marvel's Disney Plus offering since WandaVision, which you guys know I'm totally bonkers for. I love WandaVision, but oh my gosh, I have been loving Moon Knight. This has been absolutely killing on so many levels. It's exciting. It's thrilling. There is a great aspect of mystery to it, an unraveling of a puzzle. It's fun and funny at the same time. It's been great. I've been enjoying this show so much, and I cannot wait for episode 3. That said, something came up the other day that one of the viewers wrote in. We were talking about, the difference between Steven and Mark and all that kind of stuff. Somebody brought up something interesting to me. And it was one of our viewers of the show wrote in and said, do you think there could be a third personality? Which we've all acknowledged there could be, because in the comics there is another. But because obviously Steven didn't ask the girl out in episode 1, right? It wasn't Steven that asked the girl out. Now that we've met Mark, doesn't seem like Mark would have asked her out either. He seems like eternally committed to his wife and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't seem like Mark would have been the one to ask her, because after episode 1, we all just assumed that it was Mark that asked the girl. Mark's the one who's got the confidence and got all the kind of, he asked her out. But that made me go, you know what? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. It couldn't have been Mark that asked her out. What was it? Steven Stranger Things just wrote in. This is actually really interesting. No matter how many times Steven corrects the guard at the museum, who calls him Scott or Scotty, right? I just assume that's a running joke, right? And I think it's meant to be set up as a running joke. But what if it's not a running joke? What if, and I love this theory that Stranger Things just wrote in, what if we have already inadvertently been kind of introduced to who the third personality is, and it's not Mark and it's not Steve, but it is a persona known as Scotty or Scott that the guard knows, that is the one that asked the girl out. Although the girl did refer to him as Steven, so that might undo that a little bit. But still, this whole notion that the evidence for what the third personality is, if there's another third personality, might already be there right in front of us. And I'm telling you what, I kind of like that. I'm not going to be surprised at all. Now that you bring that up, Stranger Things, I'm not going to be surprised at all if we get into episodes 3 and 4 and we find out that, yeah, there was a third personality that is already there. I know, Rob, you, first of all, just sum up for us how you've been feeling about Moon Knight up to this point, your enjoyment of it, and what do you think about this theory? Could there be a third personality? If there is one, do you think it might be one that they've already dropped hits for? Where are you at on this right now?
There is another character that in the show that's been in plain sight that all I can say is look out for him, and that is the living statue that Steven talks to. The guy that's the living statue that's on the fountain.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Just, that's all I'm going to say.
Really?
That's all I'm going to say.
Is that a comic connected thing?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a little bit there. Now, could there be another? First of all, I'm loving this because it's different than I expected. It's actually very different from what I expected. But I'm really loving it. There's so much going on in here that's appealing to me. I love seeing the depiction of the character. So I am loving Moon Knight. I can't believe we're seeing Moon Knight. If I had made a Moon Knight show, I would have gone in an entirely different direction. But I do like what they're doing here. And I like the implications it has for the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. Although I do believe a lot of what we're seeing is a bunch of BS. I will say that.
Right. Yeah, and that's a theory you've held to from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like ever since episode 1, you're saying, yeah, no, everything they're showing us isn't real.
I mean, there's some stuff that probably is, but I think we need to take what we're seeing maybe not as literally as we maybe should or people think to. I take nothing at face value in this show. I think we're going to find out more and more as it unravels. I think each episode's going to give us revelation. So I'm curious to see where it goes. But I like the idea that, maybe the guard is, because in the comics, before Moon Knight had a dissociative identity disorder, he created personas for himself. They were not because he had mental illness. They leaned into that later. And one of them was Jake Lockley, who was a cab driver. And Jake Lockley would, drive around and had his ears to the streets so he could figure out what should Moon Knight go and investigate. Now, I don't think they're going to have that persona, but you never know. We know that his Duchamp is calling him his Frenchie, his good friend, who's kind of like his Alfred in a way, because we saw he got a phone call from him. So there's a lot of stuff going on that has yet to be revealed. But I think that that's a good theory. I like that theory because the idea that he doesn't know his name. They're always playing off like he's always correcting him. He doesn't know his name because his name really isn't Steven. So
Right.
maybe his persona or maybe his mind is dealing with all that. I mean, I could see all of these people that we've met are fragments of his imagination.
Something that the show benefits from, even though it is shot really well, Oscar Isaac is just a brilliant actor, is that I know nothing of this character. And like a lot of the Winter Soldier and like all those characters, we've already been introduced. Do you think that that helps a little bit on why this show is so good? Is that, like you said, the mystery? Not many of us know about him, so everything is interesting. Everything is brand new. You know what I mean?
I thought about the same thing, but because it can go both ways, right? Like there's a lot of times there are new characters or new stories, whatever, and it takes us a while to get to know them for us to be able to really appreciate them and like them. At the same time, like you're pointing out, Ray, in the case of Moon Knight, it's like the fact that we don't know him at all is kind of a benefit, right? At least in this, I think it's the mystery aspect of it. I think the same thing that got us so hooked on WandaVision, the first episode or two. And I think that's what a couple of the other, Marvel Cinematic shows have not had that sense of mystery. They tried to introduce them, like with Falcon the Winter Soldier, it was who's the power broker?
Right.
But that's not really a mystery. That's like, well, that's the puzzle that gets solved later. In Loki, it's like, who's the one behind the what's the name of the organization? The TVA. Who's behind the TVA? Okay, but that's really an answer we get later. What the fuck is going on? Is something that we had when WandaVision was going on. It's like, wait, what? What's going on here? And they've got a little bit of that here, and I think you're right, Ray. Part of that is because we don't know this character yet. We're being introduced to him for the first time.
I'm just saying, I hope it just continues on from this show to Miss Marvel. I don't know anything about Miss Marvel. I hope, I'm just saying, like, let's get on a roll of these shows that are, like, they just get better and better.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, like, if in episode 5, not that it's a dream. I think there are aspects of what's going on is real. But it's analogous to something else. Mm-hmm. And, there was one run in the comics where Moon Knight thought he was Wolverine and thought he was Spider-Man. He thought he thought he was Marvel.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, that was a Brian Bendis run of the comics. So it wouldn't surprise me if everything that's going on, like this storyline, actually will have some kind of a resolution before the end of the series, but we realize that resolution was him being pulled out like Inception.
Right.
He's on the third level of Inception now. They got to kick him out, into the. Although that maybe it's everything. It's just these ideas of these warring gods and Khonshu being F. Murray Abraham. There's a lot of stuff happening. Maybe it's real, but if you think about it in the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe, if all of this is actually happening at face value, it's a little wacky.
Chris, you've been watching this along with, I know you've been enjoying this show an awful lot. What do you think about the theory that they've already given us hints of a third persona? Do you buy into that theory? If not, why not? If so, why?
I love this theory mostly because I don't want this to be a Ralph Boner.
Right.
I don't want this to be like ooh, there's something else here. Oh, it's just a funny penis joke, which we can appreciate. But come on, guys. That was my one note on WandaVision. I really, really think this is fun, though, because I do think there is going to be somebody who's a bit more of that kind of Mr. Knight character, right? Who's a little more charismatic, a little more of a ladies' man, a little more chill, because we are not getting that from our other two Moon Knight
Right.
personas, right? And it doesn't seem like either of them would be the type to just ask out a girl and have that really great line about going out for steak and everything and charming her in that way and making her so disappointed when she gets stood up, too.
Right.
So I really think this has legs. I hope it's not just a little joke of him getting his name wrong all the time. That's still okay. It's not a bummer of a joke, but this would be much more interesting to me.
You know, that girl was so heartbroken. I think she quit the job because we haven't seen her ever since.
She was like, fuck this, I'm not working at the museum anymore. That gift shop guy
I
is such
just
a creep.
can't look at him anymore.
Well,
She actually got the job
But
because she was asked out by.
That's part of what's going on, I think. There's a reason
don't-
why we haven't seen her. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. I'm just saying, you know, there's nothing going on to chance here. I think this is all very carefully calibrated. And I mean, that's only because, you know, when you see movies like Fight Club and it's planned. I mean, they have a plan here. And the reveal of it all, I think at least in my mind, I hope it's that way. Because I want the revelation to be like, wow, okay.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Have you been watching Moon Knight? If so, what have you thought about it? What do you think about this idea and notion that there is a third personality that we've already seen hints for laying around? Do you buy into it? Do you not buy into it? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, Coinbase. Have you found yourself curious about getting involved in cryptocurrency, but if you're like a couple of friends of mine who have been really interested in it, they felt kind of overwhelmed by it, like not even knowing how to get started? Well, that's where Coinbase comes in because they make learning to buy and sell crypto simple. Coinbase offers a trusted and easy to use platform to buy, sell, and spend cryptocurrency. They support the most popular digital currencies on the market and make them accessible to everyone. They offer portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app so you can trade securely and monitor your crypto all in one place. And that's why millions of people all over the world in 100 different countries trust Coinbase with their digital assets. So whether you're looking to diversify, just getting started, or searching for a better way to access crypto markets, start today with Coinbase. And for a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at coinbase.com/Campea. Sign up at coinbase.com/Campea for $10 in free Bitcoin. This offer is for a limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's coinbase.com/Campea. And a big thank you to the folks at Coinbase for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Remember, guys, by supporting the sponsors of the John Campea Show, you're actually supporting the John Campea Show. So go and make sure you check out those sponsors. Make sure you use those promo codes and links that we have in the description below. Okay, guys, with that down, let's move on to main topic number 3, shall we? Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Topic 3 is coming from Box Office Fan. Well, we have some info on Doctor Strange 2 pre-ticket sales, and they are great. Fandango confirms Doctor Strange has the best pre-ticket sales of the year, passing Batman, and has almost made the same as Rogue One, A Star Wars Story pre-sales. So, John, how well do you think this movie will do opening weekend with these numbers?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. Okay, look, we've been talking about and speculating over what could or could not happen with Doctor Strange's ticket sales and how it's going to do opening weekend and how it's going to do at the box office. Is the audience going to get motivated to go see Doctor Strange, considering that the first Doctor Strange did well? It did well at the box office, but it wasn't one of the billion-dollar Marvel films, but it did super well. This one looks crazy bonkers, not as bonkers as Everything Everywhere All at Once, but crazy bonkers nonetheless. Strange himself is not as popular of a character as Spider-Man is. So we've been kind of talking a lot the last year or so about how can this movie do? Obviously, Ticket Watch happened the other day. Not really, we didn't do it. But the opening day ticket sales went on sale. And sure enough, problems. Even though they'd made the smart move, I believe, of launching the tickets at 6 a.m. here when everybody's still in bed, 9 a.m. East Coast time when everybody's at work. to try to slow the initial onrush of tickets and spread it out over the day. And yet still, the biggest movie company in the world, AMC Theaters, their website was for crap. Nothing worked. Errors and messages, and no matter how many times I had to go to Fandango, and even Fandango was having some issues. Adam's Tickets was sluggish. And then even when you did buy your tickets through them, they couldn't apply your A-list or your awards memberships and all that kind of stuff. So problems. So clearly, a lot of people were excited. Well, now we're starting to get some actual information. Fandango is reporting that this is the biggest single-day ticket sales they've had since Spider-Man No Way Home opened. That means the Batman, which did real well, it eclipsed the Batman's ticket sales for opening weekend, which is not terribly surprising. We talked about all the reasons many, many times about why Batman shouldn't have done as well as it did. By the way, it's already well over 700 million worldwide. Good for the Batman. But on top of that, then we're on to, okay, it'll clear 100 million. Can it be 150 million? Could it get 150 million opening weekend? Well, the word that the person who wrote in the question mentioned this, but I've been seeing this too, is that the numbers for the Doctor Strange opening day ticket sales are likened unto Star Wars Rogue One. Now remember, that is pre-pandemic. That is, without anything like that, right? And Star Wars Rogue One, it ended up making $155 million on its opening weekend. $155 million on its opening weekend. So that does not mean that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will also make 151, but if you're charting the pace, that's the pace it's on. And it could go much higher. It could go much higher. Because I'll tell you what, while I've got our tickets for the Thursday screening of Doctor Strange, I went on the other day to try to pick up tickets for Friday or Saturday. Yeah, SOL. Right out of luck.
Really?
Yeah. Every screening I looked at for Friday and Saturday was like, because I have a group of 4 of us that wanted to go see it sometime on the weekend. I didn't find a single screening with 4 seats available together.
Wow.
Not one. A lot of the theaters completely packed. Like, obviously, the IMAX theater, the Dolby Prime theaters, they just had a couple of single seats here and there. But they were pretty much packed otherwise. But even the smaller cinemas in the theater, they maybe had 2 seats together. One I saw had 3 seats together, but nowhere had like 4 seats together left anywhere. So it brings up the question, just how big could Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness be on its opening weekend? Because these opening ticket numbers, while we all expected it to be big, and I knew it could be really big, but to be honest, if I had to put $5 on it before, I probably wouldn't have bet on it clearing 150 million opening weekend, just because this isn't Spider-Man. Yeah, I know it's coming out of Spider-Man, but so is Morbius, even though Morbius didn't appear in Spider-Man. It's not as popular as a character as Spider-Man. This does look way multiversal, and it's going to be bonkers and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it's going to be big, but I don't know how big it's going to be. It's looking like it may fly by that 150 million opening weekend thing. I don't know that 200 is in the cards, but you can't say that's impossible at this point. And if it does come in at 150 million, because I need to look this up here. Give me 1 second. The original Doctor Strange, I should have had this pulled up earlier, but the original Doctor Strange that came out in 2016, its opening weekend was $85 million. $85 million. We're talking about literally doubling its opening weekend from the first film. Rob, let me go over to you on this first. How big do you think this could be? And what do you think, what would you attribute this type of opening, double the ticket sales of what the original Doctor Strange was? How big can this be, and why do you think it could be that big?
I think it's going to be huge. I think it has the potential to do 200 million opening weekend, only because Doctor Strange has become a pivotal character in the MCU. The scene at the beginning of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He was a major player in Infinity War and Endgame. Since his solo film came out, he's become, I think Doctor Strange and Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal of Doctor Strange has become a favorite of fans, audiences. Certainly, I love the guy. I think it's a great character. And this movie, John, the promise of this movie is such that this is like when Tony Montana sticks his face in a giant mountain of cocaine at the end of Scarface and breathes in, say hello to my little friend. This movie is the equivalent of that for us MCU fans. This movie just looks like a giant mountain of comic book movie goodness with characters and the Illuminati and the promise of things we've never seen before and variants and I mean everything they've been building up to. I mean, this looks like I want to snort this movie. I want to chop this movie up and I want to just snort it right up, and because it looks like it's that potent, and it's not cut with fentanyl.
Let me ask you this, Chris. What do you? How big do you think this can be opening weekend, and what do you attribute that to? Let me ask this question: how big of a player of this success and its potential success of the upcoming weekend will have to do with Wanda? Because obviously WandaVision was frickin' and she's now a fascinating character. I love the idea of her going bad, and we saw a little bit of a bad side in the trailer. But so, yeah, again, how big do you think this can be? What do you attribute that to, and how do you see this?
I think this could be massive, and I think it's because of Wanda and because of No Way Home. I think these two things are catapulting this up there. Stephen Strange, like you all were saying, has really made his place in the MCU, right? He is a pivotal character who really, really is moving things forward, and his actions have consequences. We all need to see this film so we know where the MCU is going. So there's that component. Then you have the Wanda of it all. Wanda Maximoff just going big bad or just owning her power fully, because that's where we all kind of freaked out at the end of WandaVision, right? It was just like, yeah, look at you go through that dark home. Yes, let's do all of this. I think that is a huge component in this film too, and why they've been really, really smart in these trailers of focusing on Wanda very heavily. They know what the people want, and it's more Stephen Strange. It's tying in all that what if stuff of him going sinister Strange and showcasing Wanda in all of her power, because she is the heavy hitter of the Marvel Universe.
I totally agree with that. And I think that you, again, I mean, I won't make drug references, but the idea that it's that exciting. I should have said something about being a kid and having cotton candy. That would have been a more
either
apt
way.
description.
I enjoy the joy you're showcasing, Rob.
There you go. But
we talked about this. I paid too much for this. I can't do cocaine.
Yeah, I know, right? I just think, is that true?
Yeah, I broke my nose like 3 times. Thanks, Dr. Cohen.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I never would have guessed.
I never would have guessed
Like,
either.
never.
Nicely done. But no, I think that this movie is, and the ramifications it's going to have with the MCU moving forward. I mean, the thing about the MCU is, and part of the nature of it, if you want to be cynical, you can be. But I love the fact that these movies are as interconnected as they are. I think by design, they plan them out, and there's revelations that happen, and I think that's part of the appeal of the entire franchise. And this movie looks like, man, you got to see this, because if you don't, it's got ramifications in many different directions. It's not just like one thing. Like, are they going to reverse the snap? You've got, are Wanda's kids coming back? Is Wanda going big bad? What's happening with the Illuminati? Why is Charles Xavier in this movie? Where's Stephen Strange going to be left at? Is he going to be the Sorcerer Supreme? Is Wong going to die? I don't know. Where are the Avengers?
And really, the big question is going to be, what is going to be the status of multiverse by the end of this movie?
Yep.
Because I've speculated for a while that I think multiverse, I mean, I remember I said back when they announced the movie and the title of the movie, I said, I'm thinking that the Multiverse of Madness is going to be the thing that closes off multiverse. I don't know if that's true, but we all thought that, yeah, there's a possibility of that. What are you thinking about that right now? Where do you think, what do you think the status of the multiverse is going to be at the end of this movie? And why do you think maybe it's the title of the film? Why do you think maybe it's in that title?
Because I think they're going to have to, they can't allow, this is a storm that can't be allowed to get too big, because it threatens to consume everything within the MCU, because like you're always talking about, John, there's got to be consequences with the multiverse. You can bring anybody back. You know, you talk about fake deaths in this universe.
Yeah.
Well, what if there's millions of variants? And then again, we've got another film. How does Quantum Mania, how does the quantum realm fit with the multiverse? Or does it? I mean, we got, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantum Mania, where Kang is coming back. and we've seen Kang dealing with the TVA. Is the TVA even involved in any of this? Because multiverse is different from time branches or all that, because theoretically time variants are all in one universe. You have different, it's all 616 or whatever, but I think they need to define that, and we're going to find out. I wouldn't be surprised if they tie off the multiverse like you in this movie.
Ray, I wanted to ask you, like, we're seeing some pretty big numbers right now. Obviously, the biggest ticket sales of the year so far, not that that's the most high bar because we're still kind of in a weird era, although it's on pace so far with like ticket sales for Rogue One, which came in at 155, so it could go beyond that, could come under it. I don't expect it to come under that. Could go beyond it. Ray, why do you think people are getting this excited? Whereas, when the first Doctor Strange movie came out, good success, but 85 million opening weekend compared to, now we're talking double of that. Why do you think that is?
Well, I'm not going to speak for the people, but for me,
you are the people. You
For
do
me,
speak for the people.
for me, Wanda is one of the main selling points for me. I've wanted to see her unleash this power that I know she has.
You've wanted to see her unleash it?
Yeah, unleash the power. Like, especially when she gets angry. I can't wait to see that spectacle. I hope she does it. I think she should be like the front of the, if we were going to separate them, the female heroes. I think she should be the lead because she's like one of my favorite female
And she's going
characters.
bad. She's going to be the bad guy by the end.
I know, but you know what? Sometimes you have to have the bad in front. But for me, I'm not much of a drinker, but I'm just thinking about the alcohol I'm going to drink before this movie. You have to be loaded on sugar, cocaine with Rob, or whatever, because this movie is going to trip me out. I swear, the visuals already in the trailer. I already think I'm on something when I watch it.
Someone in the chat put MCU equals marvelous cocaine euphoria.
That's really what Kevin Feige was going at here.
Of course.
It's going to be a good time. Like, I got to be there, like, drinking some alcohol and then watch it sober and then watch it whatever. I'm going to watch it 3 times in different states of of mind.
And it's just a hair over 2 hours, so it's one you can do.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm thinking about getting one of those single seats just so I could because opening weekend for any Marvel movie is an event.
Yeah,
like
yeah, it really
a
is.
lot of people don't like the cheering. I do.
Screw
Like
those
I
people.
do.
I love the cheering.
I could analyze the movie during the week and watch it if I want to pick up some things. But the first opening nights are always the most fun to me. It was almost like waiting in line for the next Halo game at Best Buy. It's one of those events. I welcome it all. I can't wait. The last time I had a lot of fun during opening night was the first Avengers movie, because lately all the Marvel releases we've been watching, we've had like our own little private thing, and we haven't really watched it with so I can't wait. I just can't wait for this opening weekend. It's going to be bananas. The ramifications of this movie are bigger than what we think they're going to be.
I wonder if I should book a private theater for Friday or Saturday. And maybe do another fan event. I don't know if we'll be able to do that. Okay, so let me throw this out here. The original Doctor Strange made 85 million opening weekend. Spider-Man No Way Home, in which Doctor Strange plays a significant part, made $260 million opening weekend. Now I'm going to ask each of you, set an over-under number. How much, with everything that we know now, the fact that Wanda's in it, how Doctor Strange's role in the MCU has grown since that first movie's come out, understanding the bonkersness of it and all that kind of stuff. But what would you say is the over-under line? What's your guess for how much this movie makes opening weekend? Chris, I'm going to go over and start with you. I'm going to put you on the hot seat first.
God.
How much does this movie make opening weekend?
I don't know. I want to be really optimistic and say 200 mil?
So you're going to say 200 is the line?
Yeah.
You think 200? Okay.
I think I'll do well.
Ray, let's go over to you. How much does this movie make opening weekend?
Without knowing anything, I first said 166 million, but now that I know that Spider-Man made 260, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 266 million.
Ooh,
You think it's going to do
go
more
higher?
than Spider-Man No Way Home? All right. Rob, let's go over to you. How much?
don't know.
Remember, we're not asking how much could it make, but how much do you think realistically it would actually make.
I think the floor is 175. I think that's the least it's going to make, and the ceiling is going to be 235.
So you're going to put it what around 205? Is that your guess?
Yeah, just north of 200 million, probably.
Just north of 200 million. Okay, so we got one person in here, 3 people who say it's going to be over 200 million. One person who says it's going to beat Spider-Man No Way Home. So I don't think it will, but hey, it's not impossible.
Good.
I'm going to go a little bit more conservative. I think the ceiling for this is I think the ceiling is what you're calling. I think the ceiling is going to be 205. I think it's going to exceed that Rogue One mark. That's kind of on pace with right now. I'm going to go 189.
All right.
Just short of 190. Which again would make it one of the biggest openings in Hollywood history if it does.
If I get this right, this 266, I get the Wanda hot toy
From who?
all 3 of you guys.
Well, really?
Why should I put up $100?
266, baby. It's 266, baby.
I'm part-time.
I know.
Yeah, bro. And come on, I'm the hot toy guy. We'll get you a 12 scale.
Oh, I want to join your group, man.
Okay,
You got
hold a
12
second.
scale right there. You got
I'm
12 scale
going to
Wanda
put
right
up
there.
a poll. If Ray is right, should he get a Wanda hot toy? We're going to leave this up to the people. We're going to leave this up. For those of you watching live, I just put it up in the live chat. I just put up a poll in the live chat. If Ray is right, and this movie makes 266 million, should he get Wanda, the Wanda hot toy?
Right.
I don't know why anybody should feel obligated right now. We've already got 500 votes. That was fast. And 94% of you are saying he should.
Because there's no way it's going to make
I
266.
voted for you, Ray.
There's now like 800 votes. It's 93% are saying he should. Good, because I'm going to let you know. I'm tracking the IPs of everybody who's voting, and if you voted yes, you pay for it. So there we go.
I'll put a $5 in.
Yeah, if we get enough people, get 1,000 people, 1,000 people, everybody's just got to put in 30 cents.
Yeah.
If everybody just puts in 30
It'll be a community
cents,
Wanda.
Yeah.
Community Wanda, send in your address. You get to keep her for a week.
all
We're all
it
coming
needs is
together.
everybody who voted yes put in 30 cents, and Ray gets his Wanda hot toy.
That's hilarious.
I think that
I'm
totally
just
works.
kidding. We're just kidding.
That's totally fair.
Are we kidding?
Because 266, and let's say if it lands on the dot, can I just like take the year off? Because that's just crazy, right?
No, that means we need you on the show to make those kinds of predictions.
That's right. Okay, so let me turn to the dark side here for a second, though.
Why?
Oh,
So, with all the hype and all this buildup, these trailers have been bonkers, and now these big opening ticket sales. Let me ask this question. Rob, I'm going to go over to you on this one first. It's never good for any studio to have a bad film. There are certain films that if they end up being bad, it's worse for the studio. With the hype, with the coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home, with the whole thing of it being multiverse, with these big, huge ticket records, now this being so, how bad is it if this movie sucks? None of us are saying it's going to suck. I'm just asking,
Right.
though, if this does end up flopping on its face. This is Sam Raimi's first entry into the MCU. Of course, he's directed Spider-Man before, but that wasn't MCU. How damaging could it be for the MCU if this, because I would propose this, if Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man had sucked, it would have been move on. How significant is it if Doctor Strange sucks?
I think it's pretty significant because, look, Marvel has dangled this. There are pushers, they've put this out there. They've positioned this movie. They're front and center. They're all in on this, and they're promising a lot. This movie is promising a lot. Now, I would say that there's even people, I think about lower tier Marvel, whether it's Thor: The Dark World or Iron Man 2, even those, or the first, The Incredible Hulk, even those movies are quite enjoyable. There hasn't been, and I loved Eternals more than a lot of people,
I really enjoyed it too.
but there's a lot of people, I can't, look, put your politics and all that aside. None of these movies have sucked. They've all been pretty good. And if you think about the level of quality over almost 30 movies now, I mean, compared to the James Bond franchise, which wildly differs in tone and quality, They've done pretty well. But if this movie's bad, John, I think it could be not so good for the Marvel franchise because of how much they're promising us.
I'll tell you what, I'll go a little bit further. I'd say because of the way the MCU has unfolded and where we are now and all this kind of stuff, I think Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness turning out awful, only Infinity War or Endgame would have been more disastrous if those had ended up being bad. I even think Spider-Man No Way Home could have ended up being bad, and it would have been, oh, well, we had two great ones. You know what I'm saying? I think because of everything you just said, because I think you're bang on the money. Everything you just said, I think there is no other MCU movie they've done in whatever the 30 of them that they are that could be more costly to them. And don't get me wrong, even if this is the worst movie ever made, it's not going to completely derail the MCU. It's one film. But as far as how much damage it takes, I don't think any other movie they've done so far other than Infinity War Endgame would have been more disastrous.
I mean, we don't have Iron Man anymore. We don't have Captain America, so we've lost some of the core team. What this movie is doing is elevating. I mean, Doctor Strange to me is a heavy hitter in the Marvel Universe, but in the MCU, he's kind of secondary that's rising up to potentially the leadership position. Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, is also a cornerstone. When I was growing up, Vision and Scarlet Witch were big characters in the comics, and they're positioning Wanda to be incredibly powerful, being a Nexus being, all kinds of stuff happening here, maybe a big threat going forward. There's too much at stake. There's too many balls in the air, which is what leads me to believe that it's a juggling act that hopefully they'll pull off. Because one of the great things about Marvel, John, is because they build in reshoots and pickups into their schedules, they can see what works and what doesn't, unlike a lot of other franchises that don't do that. So to me, if they find something in midstream that doesn't work, they can still go back and fix it. But this movie, I think they're pretty confident. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this.
Listen, Sam Raimi's the guy. This is his first MCU film.
And of all the movies they could have hired him to bring in, this is Sam Raimi's wheelhouse.
Well, that's why when they announced Sam Raimi was directing this, we all freaked out. It's like, this is perfect. This is exactly Sam Raimi's kind of movie. The guy who did Evil Dead.
Yeah, the first Evil Dead. This is his sensibility.
Yeah, the guy who's doing this is perfect. And let's remember, while it is his first MCU movie, he's the director of one of the top 10 greatest comic book films of all time. To this day, still other than maybe Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is close, Spider-Man 2, best live action Spider-Man movie of all time.
Kevin Feige worked on that film.
Yep, they worked together.
So they had a relationship. They've known each other all this time. There's a reason Kevin Feige brought Sam Raimi in to direct this specific film.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about these advanced ticket sale numbers for Doctor Strange? And what does that tell you, if anything, about where this thing could end up as far as its opening weekend numbers? Do you think it'll come in on pace with like a Rogue One around that 150, 155? I'll tell you right up. If it does, that's a huge win. 155 million right now? That would be amazing. Do you think you can get close to that 200 million? Is Ray going to get a Wanda Maximoff hot toy with over 1,500 of you voting saying he would deserve? Can this thing be bigger than Spider-Man No Way Home? I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way it's bigger than Spider-Man.
No.
There's no way it's bigger than Spider-Man No Way Home. Does anybody disagree with me on that?
No.
No.
Let me make that another poll right now. I'm just going to ask people, because I bet you there's going to be some really excited people. Could Doctor Strange be bigger than No Way Home? I'm just curious to see what people are going to say, because we're usually a pretty optimistic bunch that everything's going to make $10 billion. So I don't know. We're going to see. So I just put up the poll for you guys. Could Doctor Strange end up being bigger at the box office than No Way Home? And we're waiting for the first ones to come in here. Okay, we got 400 votes right now. 53% are saying yes.
Wow.
Ooh.
53% are saying Doctor Strange is going to be bigger, could be bigger than Spider-Man No Way Home.
The
We
believers.
got 800 votes now. It's still 52%.
Join me in this madness.
Ray is like Handsome Hawk in Moon Knight. He
got a
walks
cult.
and people follow. Wherever Ray goes, we follow him.
I'm just going to bring up one point. when No Way Home came out, there were still people not wanting to go to the movie theaters. What would help this movie a lot is those people are ready to go back to the theaters.
And
good
Spider-Man
point.
brought them back, right? Spider-Man brought them back. And now we're about to see Sonic. Sonic is going to break 50 million opening weekend. They're saying it could be between 60 and 75 million.
Yeah.
It's starting to look, with the success of Batman, it's starting to look like maybe the box office is back, baby.
And we're getting the heat for the summers, like early summer for us.
Anyway, guys, questions for you. What do you think about all this? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to take a second and thank one of the sponsors of this video, Stamps.com. You know, they call what I and what a lot of you guys do small business, but to us, it doesn't seem small. It's the world to us. And you can't afford to miss out on opportunities to grow and keep your customers wanting more. Because time is money. Don't waste either with repeated trips to the post office. With Stamps.com, you can skip the trip and focus on how to take your business to the next level. Stamps.com lets you print official postage right from your computer and saves you money in the process, so you can spend less time at the post office and more time making your customers happy. Stamps.com gives you access to all of the post office and UPS shipping services that you need right from your computer. And get discounts you can't find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS. So stop overpaying for shipping with Stamps.com. Sign up with the promo code CAMPEA for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone at the top of the page and enter the code CAMPEA. And thank you to the good folks at Stamps.com for supporting this episode of the John Campea Show. Okay, guys, with that down, let's now move on and start taking your live questions here, shall we? Chris, what do we got coming up here in the live questions?
We are kicking things off with Abraham Ruiz. I'm curious, what music do y'all listen to?
Except for country music, I listen to everything. I listen to classical, metal, hip hop, rock. My all-time favorite band is U2, but I'll just as soon as listen to, Pavarotti or anything else. So I'm kind of a mixture of a lot of things. What about you, Rob?
Me too. I mean, I listen to a lot of soundtracks. I listen to a lot of, I as I've been moving, there are bands. There's a I think it's a Swedish band called The Sounds, and I've been listening to one of their albums a lot just because I'm looking through all my CDs, and I've been going back and revisiting a little Dream Theater, prog rock metal because The Alien won Best Metal Performance.
Ray, what
at the
about you?
Grammys.
What do you listen to?
Just right now in the car, I'm listening to Joyner Lucas.
Chris, what about you?
Pretty eclectic. I don't listen to country either. A lot of indie pop mixes right now. There's a Spotify energetic indie pop mix that I like. I've been listening to a lot of the 1975 and Daddy Frere as well.
All right, what's next?
From Andy, one of two. I think I'm losing brain cells because after Campea told me I'd have to add another zero to the $300 payment to make him watch some episodes of Riverdale, I gave it plenty of thoughtful consideration. I had to really think if it was worth putting Campea through all that pain and torture.
I'm telling you what, though, you pop that in, I'll sit down and watch 4 episodes of Riverdale. I will sit down and watch 4. I will even do a live stream of me trying to watch 4 episodes of Riverdale. So, yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, that's dedication, though, Andy. That's dedication. All right, what's next?
From Seconds from Disaster, one of two. Well, hello there, Knights Husseini. I just wanted to say how unfair it was in yesterday's stream that you wouldn't let Rob get a single word in. Would have been nice to hear his thoughts if you had just let him in. He was trying to speak for 3 hours. Hashtag justice for Rob. Love the show. Bring on the filthy.
I personally thought it was the most insightful Rob's ever been on the show. I'm just...
Wow. Wow.
I kid.
Okay.
I kid because I love...
Another slap some
No,
ruin.
you weren't able to be here yesterday.
No, but I just appreciate the representation, John.
You got to at least have presence here on the show.
I really appreciate that, and a lot of viewers wrote to me and sent me pictures.
Concerned about your...
I was a little confused at first, especially. But hey, look, as long as I'm felt when I'm gone, there's no better compliment than that.
By the way, as I pull out a Zevia Cola,
Did you hear from them?
I did. So
Whoa.
one of our viewers wrote into me yesterday, say, "Hey, I've had a lot of our viewers tell me over the last year or so, hey man, I'm writing to Zevia, And a lot of our viewers have written to Zevia, and Zevia always gives to us, we're not looking to do any sponsorships right now. That's all they write back to our fans, right? But yesterday, one of our viewers wrote to them and got a response saying, hey, thanks for writing to us. We're going to reach out to him. All right. So I checked my email. Sure enough, a rep from Zevia wrote to me to tell me they're not doing any sponsorship. But they did say, hey, send us your address and we'd love to send you some product. So say, as long as that product is 400 cases of Zevia Cola, then then that'll be fine. For those of you guys who are channel members, put in that emoji. Put in that custom
take any of the
emoji.
alternate flavors if they do that, because you got me stuck on it too.
We'll stack it on top of the gin aviation vodka.
The aviation gin that still hasn't shown up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All right. Anyway, sorry. What was it? There it is. There's our channel members putting the Zevia. Putting the Zevia. There we go. Come on, guys. Sponsor me, you cheap sons of bitches. All right. Where do we leave off there?
No, we're going to Andy.
Okay, great.
I met Dwayne Johnson once. I wanted to introduce myself to him, but then I realized it wouldn't matter what my name was.
I'll tell you what. The first time I got to meet Dwayne Johnson, second time I got to meet Dwayne Johnson, he was promoting I think it was G.I. Joe. He was promoting his G.I. Joe movie. And Anne, who's been watching wrestling since she was a kid, she pulled out his old Brahma Bull t-shirt. So I went to the interview wearing the old classic Brahma Bull t-shirt, right? And I remember I asked him a question that was something like this. The video is up. You can find it on YouTube. But I asked him basically, Dwayne, a lot of the audience just find themselves like really getting attached to you in these movies, and they get excited about these movies. Like, what is it do you think is about you personally that gets people excited about these movies? And Dwayne kind of slips into character. He goes, you're asking me, what is it that makes me great? And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best interview ever. It was so good. Yeah, he's honestly, then I got to hang out with him they did this press thing with me and like 8 other guys, got to go hang out in his hotel room with him for an afternoon. And so, he is seriously one of the most fun guys to be around. The dude like owns the room. He's like as magnetic of a personality in person as he is on the screen. He's amazing. Love him. All right. What's next?
From Sam Fisher. My perfect Moon Knight Suns lineup. Moon Knight, Black Knight, Werewolf by Night, Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, Dr. Voodoo, Blade, and Clea Strange.
We could be seeing Clea in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. There's some rumors going around. We're going to see her in that. Ooh. But what do you think about this lineup, Rob?
Midnight Suns. Hey, that's a great lineup. I'd watch that show. I mean, I think they're leading up to something like this, bringing in all the supernatural characters. I think that's sort of an inevitability. And I love that. I mean, I really, again, John, I love the cosmology of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How are they going to bring in the supernatural? Bring it on. Can't wait. Loving it.
What's next?
Andy again. My girlfriend caught me cheating on her, but it's all right. It was at an AMC theater, so she and I are all good because Nicole Kidman said heartbreak is good there.
That's right. That's right. If you're going to do something horrible, do it with Nicole Kidman. She
How
will make it all better.
How were you cheating on her in that theater? Were you just on a date? Don't do any hanky-panky in the AMC, Andy. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, man, watch the movie. Come on.
We don't want the floor sticky from anything but cola, sir. Goodness.
Okay, what's
why
next?
I'm the worst one on the show.
Yeah, man, I just want to point out I didn't make that joke.
All right, what's next?
From John Redcorn. Buy one, rent one, lose one. Oh, woof. Morbius, Wonder Woman 84, or Rise of Skywalker?
Oh, that's easy. Because 2 of them I didn't hate. Like, 2 of them I disliked, but I didn't hate. Like, obviously, Rise of Skywalker is the one I hate. Hate that movie. So that's the lose one. Morbius I didn't like, but it had some redeeming quality. There are things in it that I thought were worth it and all that kind of stuff. So I will buy Morbius, I will rent Wonder Woman 84, and I will lose Rise of Skywalker. Does anybody have a different order for that?
I don't know.
All I have to say is that's the crappiest blockbuster selection I've ever heard.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we burn down that blockbuster?
Yeah.
What's next?
Sam Fisher. I love that Steven as Mr. Knight has more confidence in himself. Like, Steven would never say that Muhammad Ali line, but Mr. Knight would.
That was a glorious moment in that episode.
Yep.
And I know there's some naysayers like, why does Marvel have to put a joke in there? Because it was fucking funny. It was really funny, and it was entertaining, and it was great.
And it was in character.
And it was in character. Yeah, well said. All right, what's next?
From Brian Sanner. Good morning, John and crew. So we got the season finale of Severance and season finale from this weekend. Are you caught up, and which one did you like most?
Not caught up on either.
No.
I got to watch the finales of both.
I watched Severance.
People
I
are
know
telling me
you
to have
did.
to see it. I have to see it.
All I've been reading, I've had to stay off of social media this morning because I saw one person goes, "Oh my God, the Severance finale," and I'm like, "Nope." And I had to just close my laptop. I got to stay off social media. I'm going to be getting in a car, driving 3 hours to Vegas. I'm not going to be on Twitter or anything. But no, I have not seen the finales of either. And I will get caught up, though. I will absolutely get caught up.
I think you will like it and be the right amount of frustrated with where things are.
All right, what's next?
From Bama Ham Yum.
Watch it.
Hey, Rob, I've just bought my first ever pop toy. I pre-ordered the new Moon Knight figure. I'm hoping a Mr. Knight figure comes out as well.
I hope so too. The only problem is I feel bad for all these people that are just getting into Hot Toys because of Moon Knight. The Moon Knight figure's what going to come out in 2023, like in December or something. People are going to have to wait for a year and a half.
All right.
But I
what's
love that you
next?
bought it.
From Sam Fisher again. I think my favorite thing on the internet is spoilers without context. So Moon Knight episode 2 spoilers without context. Muhammad Ali, Duck Soup, Storage Wars, Colonel Sanders.
For me, it was the Sonic thing of dot. Because unless you're seeing it, you have no idea what the hell that means. And then you see it in context, and that really does work. I like that too, man. That's well pointed out. All right, what's next?
From Casey Mack. I would actually say Sonic 2 was better than the first movie. It did have its flaws, but I really enjoyed it more than the first one.
I mean, I disagree. I mean, there were certainly some elements that I thought were better than the first. And I say this as how good I thought the first one. Not that there's anything wrong with the second one, but like the entire stretches of some story that just didn't need to be there. I didn't find that the first one had that at all.
Yeah.
I found the first one was always just moving, great pace, everything connected to everything else, and it was just a really well put together movie. As is this one. I just thought the first one was done a little bit better. Which one of the two do you prefer, Chris?
I do prefer the first one. I think that really that Hawaii storyline was just we don't need this. And that's what kind of made that go a little less than 1 for me. If that storyline hadn't been in there, I think this would have definitely been a far away better film.
All right. What's next?
From Mikey, anything is possible in the multiverse. Michelle Yeoh with her third googly eye on her forehead could pop up and fight Evil Strange, who also has a third eye on his forehead. You never know.
The problem is outside of the multiverse, there's real world. And in real world, there are studios that own rights to things and others that don't. So no, you are not going to see Michelle Yeoh, at least not with the third googly eye pop up in her head, pop up in this. But oh my God, guys, go and see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, Michelle Yeoh is in the MCU.
As I said, you may see Michelle Yeoh, but you're not going to see Michelle Yeoh with the third googly eye. You're not going to
hilarious
see the
if she was
Everything
like, "Why do
Everywhere
I
All
have
at Once
this?"
Michelle Yeoh.
Well, yeah, you
Not gonna
wouldn't see that.
No, you're not going to see that. All right, what's next?
Remember, Bulldog, prediction, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness will be the best comic book movie of the year.
No, I don't believe that. I believe it's going to be great. I believe it's going to be great. But I think The Batman is such a stellar motion picture that, Rob, you use this phrase every once in a while. I think it applies here, that it transcends the comic book genre.
Yeah, I agree
So
with
I
that.
will say this. If I come out of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness thinking it's better than Batman, ooh, boy, you're going to see one happy kid, because that's going to mean I had like one of the best times ever. But hey, listen, it doesn't need to be as good as the Batman. Like,
No.
it doesn't need to be great and fantastic and wonderful and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't need to be as good as Batman. I just don't see it being as good as the Batman, but fingers crossed, maybe it will be.
You know, John, you just pointed something out that I would say. The Batman's supposed to be able to maybe transcend the genre. Doctor Strange isn't. I don't want to see genre transcendence in Doctor Strange. I want to see it embracing everything I love about comic books. And this could be like, look, I look at Infinity War and Endgame as like the most Marvel comic book of Marvel comic book movies ever, because it's just, it's like a big summer crossover that only Marvel could do. This is the kind of movie that only Marvel could do as well.
But if you had to put $5 on it right now, your best guess, do you obviously you've seen one, you haven't seen the other, so we're just asked for a guess.
Yeah.
Fast forward 6 weeks from now, do you think Robert Meyer Burnett enjoyed the Batman more or enjoyed Doctor Strange more?
Oh, I can tell you already, no matter how good this movie is, I will enjoy the Batman more because from an auteurist directorial standpoint, there was a real vision on display, real cinematic vision. Greg Fraser's cinematography. This, by definition, could never be that because it's part of a series and it has to be of a piece with the rest of the series, whereas the Batman can be a thing unto itself.
Ray, do you think you're going to like Doctor Strange or the Batman? Obviously, we're not going to hold anybody to this because we haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. But if you had to guess, do you think you're going to like Doctor Strange as much as the Batman?
Yeah, I would.
You think yes? Chris, what about you?
I think I'll probably like it more because it'll be more fun.
All right,
Like-
and so,
That's a good call.
I mean, I think it could be more fun. So we're a little bit split here. All I'm going to say is if Doctor Strange is even better than the Batman, then good on Marvel. That's going to be pretty awesome if it is. All right, what's next?
From Abraham again, over under 5%, the Living Tribunal makes an appearance in Multiverse of Madness. Think it's too far out for the MCU?
I will say this. I think it is very unlikely. But I'll say more than 5%.
Me too.
I might go 10. I mean,
Yeah.
still super unlikely, but I will take over 5, Rob.
I'll take over 5 too because, dude, what they've done with the Celestials and what they're doing with Kang and the Time Variance Authority.
Yeah.
Chris, over under 5%.
I would go over on that. How could that be too far out for the Multiverse of Madness?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, I don't think they're going to, but I think it's a better chance than
It'd be rad.
5%. All right, what's next?
From James Shimo, any chance we see White Vision in Multiverse? Is he perhaps the key to stopping Wanda, ours or otherwise? Also, loving my Athletic Greens. Thanks.
Oh, I'm glad you are. Of course, Athletic Greens is one of our sponsors. Make sure you go to athleticgreens.com/Campea or use the promo code Campea there. So thank you for that. Compared to the Living Tribunal, a much better chance. I'll go 50%. I'll say a straight coin flip that White Vision shows up because you're right. It fits. It's narratively consistent. Part of Wanda's breaking was the loss of vision. So I would say I'll go straight up 50%, Rob.
I'm with you, dude. I think you kind of she name checks Vision in the trailers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a big part of what's going on. So I would say Vision in some incarnation, probably White Vision, but some incarnation, maybe a different Vision, is going to be in this movie.
Chris?
Absolutely. It's our smoking gun. If I see it in Act 1 or I hear about it in Act 1, I better see it in Act 3. So I think there's a high chance.
All right. What's next?
From Sam Fisher, something I caught on the rewatch of episode 2 is the mirror in the hotel is broken, like from a punch. So Steven keeps bothering Mark now that he has control.
I don't understand the question. I don't understand. What is he saying? What is Steven keeps bothering Mark? What does that have
Now
to do with
that
the
he has
broken mirror?
control. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm not quite gathering what it is you're getting there. But you're right. The mirror was broken.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maybe sorry about that. Maybe guys in the live chat, if you know what Sam's talking about there and what he's getting at, go ahead and converse with Sam on that. All right. What's next?
From Rob Secretly Loves Discovery. If you were curious and IMDb Chris Carr at work, make sure you spell it right because Chris Carr, with 2 S's and a K, is a gay porn star and your coworkers will see it and ask, what you looking at, bud? Oh,
One of my favorite
Range,
movie
baby.
pundits. One of my favorite movie pundits. That's who I'm looking
yeah.
at.
There's that Chris Carr, and then there's the Chris Carr who does Crazy Sexy Cancer Chris Carr, who tells you how like juicing is good for you and shit. That's the 50-year-old one.
So, true story. I'm not going to say where I was or at what time frame or anything. But during one of my hiring sprees, sometime in the last 15 years, came across this one person, interviewed really well, education was really good, dynamic personality. And we moved her into because, when I would do these hiring sprees, we'd get like 600 to 1,000 resumes would come in. It was crazy. So then we would have different stages. And we moved this one person out of the 600 to 1,000 resumes up to the final 10. And once we got to the final 10, did a little bit more of a deep dive. Check references, like work history and stuff like that. Social media, peekaboo. Person was an adult film star. And while no judgment from me,
No judgment.
you're one of the most popular video forums in the world.
Yep. No
Also-
judgment, baby.
But I didn't know that my corporate overlords would have approved of that and what that might have brought. So that was one of the things. So yes, the fact that they looked up Chris Carr, not really surprised you would come across something like
You
that.
would have just said you brought the filthy.
That's very true.
Yeah, but you know what? Look, here's the thing. I ended up hiring Rob anyway.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It wasn't Rob. I'm not talking about Rob. All right, what's next?
From Chris Miner, Steve Carell is my favorite actor, and I started watching films of his that I've never seen. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, Good, Good Bad Day is a sweet, charming movie that I recommend.
There's a couple of Steve Martin movies that very, very few people have seen.
Steve Carell?
Steve
Welcome
Carell.
to Morrowind. What's that?
Steve Carell.
What did I just say?
Martin.
Steve Martin.
Did I say Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Steve Carell. Welcome to Morrowind.
I really love
So
that.
good.
Nobody saw it.
It's a
No.
But
beautiful
it's
film.
a charming, wonderful, beautiful little film. Why am I freezing on the name of it? Bumblebee Girl, Yellow Van.
Haley Steinfeld.
What's the name of the movie? It's the drama. It's got not young Haley Steinfeld. It's young. Guys in the live chat, you guys know which one. Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh.
Thank you, Raphael. I think Raphael was the first one to put it in there. Thank you for that. I don't know why
He's
I was freezing
wonderful
on
in
that.
that.
Little Miss Sunshine. What's another one that not a ton of people have seen of Steve Martin's?
Foxcatcher.
I was going to
Yes.
say Foxcatcher.
Steve
That was
Carell, dude.
oh,
Did I say Steve Martin again?
Yes.
Fuck this.
man. Yeah, Steve Jobs was great in
40-year-old virgin.
He's so good in 40-year-old
Steve
virgin.
Jobs
Yeah.
is so good in that.
Wonderful.
Steve Carell. What movie did I just say? I just mentioned a movie that. Foxcatcher. Which I believe he got nominated for Best Actor.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
He did.
Or at least supporting actor.
Or one
He
of
got
supporting her lead
nominated.
because Channing Tatum, I think, got something in that.
He's
too.
great in The Big Short, too.
Yeah,
He's
no,
wonderful
he's
in The Big
a
Short.
wonderful,
He's so
dramatic
talented.
actor, comedic actor.
Zero.
Yeah, Steve Smith was a great wide receiver at Carolina Panthers.
Steve Carell was a great wide receiver on the Carolina Panthers. All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher, the other day you mentioned the Sandman audio drama on Audible. Should I read the comic or listen to the audio drama first? Or does it not matter?
Ooh, okay. Look, I'm always an advocate. Reading is fundamental. You always got to go back to the comics. But I will say this. If you look back, especially the early issues are a little, because they didn't know what it was going to be. The audio drama is wonderful. I mean, it is so good. I can't believe I'm actually going to recommend to you to go back and listen to the audio drama as opposed to reading the comics. But that audio drama, and it had the full involvement of Neil Gaiman, the original author, the creator. Have you listened to that audio?
Amazing.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
I mean, it's one of the greatest examples of what the audio medium can do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next?
Harv's K. Happy Friday! Fave Canadian band?
Friday, I like that.
For why?
Fave Canadian band? Mine are The New Pornographers, Metric, The Band,
Oh, I love
Arcade
Metric.
Fire, and of course, Rush.
I mean,
Metric's
yeah,
great.
Rush. I mean, Rush has got to be right up there. If you're not Canadian, unless you put in that list, Northern Pikes have got to be one of those. But I'm going to say something that maybe sounds a little tired and stereotypical and obvious, but I think my favorite Canadian band may be Bare Naked Ladies. I love the Bare Naked Ladies. They're so good. Even when they lost their lead singer, Steven, but they're still great even without their lead singer. They got one of the other band members became lead singer. I love them. Actually, Ann and I got tickets. Ann surprised me. She had never watched or heard the Bare Naked Ladies. And she just heard me talking about them. So they came and played in Southern California. She got me tickets and we went. She had a ball. And then she surprised me a few months ago with like a year in advance ticket she bought for the Bare Naked Ladies at the Greek.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to go
That's
see
very nice.
them play at the Greek.
Aw.
Love the Bare Naked Ladies. Then, there's so many great Canadian acts. But yeah.
Nickelback.
What's that?
They're Canadian.
Nickelback.
Nickelback's Canadian.
Oh, and Nickelback, yes, is also Canadian. Yeah, there's Nickelback. There's the one too.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. All right, what's next?
From Schnip. Marvel premiere number 50 is an Alice Cooper story. Forget Kang and Galactus. I want Cooper as the next big bad for the Avengers.
I've had lunch with Alice Cooper.
Wow.
Totally sweet guy. Totally, absolutely sweet guy. By the way, before I forget, I don't know why Guillaume Labelle. How did I forget this? In talking about Canadian bands, how did I not mention the Hip? Of course, the Tragically Hip. Of course, the Tragically Hip. Thank you for reminding me of that. All right, what's next?
From John D. Sup? What do you guys think of Funko Pops?
Well, you know we love them. I've literally got hundreds of them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have them on display. They're going to have to now come out of the boxes, though, for when we move into the new studio.
Look, man, you got me one. You got me my
I did.
Con Union Sing
Sing.
from Space Seed.
Ray and I were out at a GameStop, and I saw this one of Con Union Sing pop, and I was like, I bet you anything Rob doesn't have this.
Nope.
So
I like them because they're cheap, but they do take up a lot of room if you got a lot. So
Not
I'm
as
very
much room
picky
as
now.
Hot Toys,
Yeah,
though.
I'm very picky now.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
From Jerome. Do y'all have a favorite TV villain redemption arc?
Villain redemption.
I do.
What's that?
Absolutely. Jakar in Babylon 5. How about that? That's one of the starts out as a guy you love to hate. He has one of the best villain redemption arcs or just redemption arcs ever. If you're a Babylon 5 fan.
What about Vegeta?
Vegeta. Wow,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But I'm trying to think of other really good villain redemption arcs.
Oh, I'll have to get back on
The
that
first
one.
thing that came to my mind is like he started to have one, then was like, oh no, this is so fucking stupid. Is Kilgrave and Jessica Jones, where he's like, I could be good.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no,
And
not
if you want
going
to go,
to.
You
if
can't
you
be
want to
good.
go back to anime, Leader Deathlock or Dessler from Space Battleship Yamato.
I still used to love their chant. Deathlock. Anyway. All right, what's next?
From Dante Serecchia. Happy Friday, Campea campers. I really enjoyed Sonic 2. Finally got my Clone Wars, Ahsoka, and Endgame Cap hot toys.
Wow.
Now
That's
just
a
wait.
lot of toys.
Now just waiting on Classic Spidey. Can't wait for Everything Everywhere tomorrow. Bring on the filthy.
I am so excited for you to see it. I am so excited for everybody to see Everything Everywhere All at Once. And not many of you will. I know not a lot of you will. It's only projected to make like $5 million at the box office. But I'm telling you, as of right now, I believe it is the best movie of the year so far.
Wow.
And we're in April, so we're only like a third of the way through. But still, I think it's the best movie of the year so far. I even like it more than Batman. This movie is batshit bonkers. It's hilariously funny. It's super heartfelt. It's just, it's so much more than I thought it could be.
Can't wait.
Oh my God. And I didn't even realize it till the movie was ended, the credits rolled. The main producer credits were Joe and Anthony Russo. Had no idea. But you got to go see this movie. None of you have seen it yet, right?
No.
Oh,
No.
God, go see
There's
it.
only 2 showings at the theater near me.
Go see it this weekend, everybody. Go see it. All right, what's next?
Remember Bulldog again? Rewatching WandaVision and Doctor 2016. And what if the Doctor Strange episode to get ready for Multiverse of Madness?
Oh, and the What If episode of Doctor Strange to
thank
get ready
you.
for Multiverse of Madness. And yes, that does seem pretty key. That one episode does seem pretty key indeed. Because once you watch the trailer, you're like, well, there's the What If Doctor Strange. At least that's what we assume it is. It could be it's not, but I think it's pretty clear that it is. All right, guys, listen, before we continue, we got to hear from one more of the sponsors of today's episode of the John Campea Show, the great folks over at Viore. Makers of my most comfortable running pants, by the way. Guys, we want to take a minute and thank a sponsor of today's video, Viore. Now, you know, Ann and I like to work out and train several days a week, but the thing is I want to be comfortable and not look like a slob at the same time, and I often have a hard time finding something that does both. But Viore, everything is designed to work out in, but it doesn't look or feel like it's made to be worked out in. It is so comfortable, you will want to wear this stuff all the time. Now, you guys know I like some flexibility and versatility in the clothes that I wear, but that's where Viore comes in. See, it can be used for just about any activity like running, training, swimming, yoga, but it's also great just for lounging around or going out on the weekends in. For example, take the men's core shorts. These are the most comfortable and one of the best looking pairs of shorts that you can own, and they're versatile. One pair of shorts for just about every sport that you can play. Or take the men's Sunday performance jogger. These pants are perfect for lounging around in or going out for a good run. Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our viewers, they are offering 20% off your very first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at viore.com/Campea. That's VUORI viore.com/Campea. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to viore.com/Campea and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. And thank you to the good folks at Viore for supporting this episode of the John Campea Show. By the way, Chris mentioned, I think she might have heard from somebody else, another good redemption one, going back to animation, though, Prince Zuko.
Yeah, so good.
That's a good one, too.
It's a great one.
That's a really good one. All right, what's next?
Adrenaline Knight sitting in a $20 super chat.
Oh, thank you, Adrenaline Knight.
Hello, everyone. Are we not going to talk about the fact that someone in your studio has an IMDb credit as Pisces? Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I thought that might have been pointed at me because Pisces was my professional breakdancing name.
What?
Yeah.
God, it's starting to unfold.
I was in a crew that we were called the Zodiac Crew, and I was Pisces. I know. Get it out of your system.
You gotta show us some moves, dude.
Get it out of your system.
Pisces, baby.
When this isn't the studio anymore, is this just going to be your breakdance
Oh,
studio?
I'm fine. We break out the cardboard and all that kind of stuff.
We
we
gotta
got
see
paid
some of
for
that.
it. We got paid. We did professional
times
gigs.
have
That's
changed.
amazing.
Yeah,
If you came up with that.
You are the one they're talking about.
I think so.
What is
the
your
first
Pisces
first film I ever did was an indie film called Pisces.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and a couple people have messaged me and been like, "Hey, I watched your movie on YouTube," and I'm like, "For why?
For why?
For why?" But little baby actor Chris
All
doing
right.
the first feature.
I'm just glad they weren't talking about me. Okay, what's next?
Church of the Blessed Burger. Hey, John and crew. Got my tickets for Doctor Strange 2. First time at AMC and in Real D 3D. Also seeing Everything Everywhere All at Once tonight and just joined the channel as a producer.
Oh, thank you,
Nice.
Church of the Blessed Burger. By the way, for those of you guys who are channel members, keep your guys' eyes open because I am going out to Vegas for the weekend, but I've got a couple of hours in the afternoon tomorrow where I'm just hanging out in the hotel room. So I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything for you guys who are channel members. So I'm going to be putting up a post in the channel members community thing there probably tomorrow morning, asking you guys to fire in questions. And I'm going to do a video just taking your questions, and you can ask me anything you want. So if you are a member of the channel, keep your guys' eyes open for that tomorrow from my hotel room at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. So keep your eyes open for that. All right. Thank you for that, Church of the Blessed Burger, and have a great time at Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm so excited you're seeing it. All right, what's next?
John Redcorn. John and Paul Feig's second favorite awards show, the Kids' Choice Awards, is tomorrow. Who's excited? And do you think we could get a Thor 4 trailer there?
Don't laugh. Yeah, it's possible. It's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
We are 3 months. We're under 90 days, or at 90 days exactly, something like that, from Thor 4 coming out. Something like the Kids' Choice Awards? At that demographic? I'm not saying they would. I wouldn't put $5 on it that they will. And I know you're just asking facetiously. But don't be surprised if they drop a trailer for Thor 4 at that. I'm not expecting it for a few more days. I'm just saying don't be surprised. What do you think?
Well, they had those new banners dropped, you know, with Jane and Thor in action. They've already done pre-sales for Doctor Strange, shattered some records for at least 2022. I don't think if they released a Thor Love and Thunder trailer, it would encroach on the excitement for Doctor Strange. Clearly, I think we'll probably get one any day.
Any day. All right. What's next?
From Joseph, got my tickets for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Nice.
Have y'all seen the show Central Park on Apple? Not spectacular, but man, I love it. Funny, and some songs are great with great messages.
I'm going to go further than that. I have not watched it. I've never even heard of it.
I have.
Yeah.
What is it?
I saw the first episode. It's an animation. It's
Same people
okay.
who did Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought the first episode was okay. He's right. It's not the best, but I can see how people could get addicted to some of the characters that I watched.
Really
right.
cute. A bunch of the cast of Hamilton is in it.
Okay. Well, thanks for putting that on our radar, Joseph. And have fun at Everything Everywhere tonight. All right. What's next?
Suthius, roses are red, violets are blue. I do love me some USS Stargazer, Mr. B. How about you? Pre-ordered Eagle Moss diecast. Can't wait to add to collection.
What is Eagle Moss?
Oh, I know what that is. It's a monthly magazine, right? That comes with a small die-cast figure of a specific character.
Well, they do a lot. Eagle Moss does a lot of different things. So they do that. They have a whole line of Star Trek starships, both in smaller formats and then XL versions. They do a part works of like the DeLorean 1/8 scale, the Ecto one. I got the DB5. They do a really good job.
Don't they do chess pieces too?
Yeah, they do chess pieces.
But the last ones I got was Stone Cold and Alexa Bliss with the magazine. Each die
yeah,
cast.
each one has. They do great stuff.
All right.
The
What's
Stargazer
next?
was Picard's first command, and then there's a new Stargazer in season 2 of Picard.
Ooh. Next, we are having T-Bone, who sends in a $20 super chat.
Thank you, T-Bone.
Happy Friday, gang. I saw everything everywhere. I can't
Nice.
describe it either, except it was great and batshit crazy. My favorite message, you're not good at anything, so you have the potential to be great at everything.
That is such a great line.
Ooh.
That is, and you gotta hear it in context. It's such a great line. It's such a great moment in the movie. Anyway, T-Bone, I'm glad you saw it. I'm glad you liked it. Now you understand why I love this movie so much. And I really want the masses to go see it. Like I'd go like if you have a choice between that or Sonic, go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
How dare you?
I know most of you are going to choose Sonic, but it's better than Sonic. It's like 10 times better than Sonic. But that's okay because it's like 10 times better than almost any other movie this year too. But I'm so glad you saw it, T-Bone. And again, man, thanks for sponsoring our channel on that level. That's really generous of you. All right, what's next?
From Jerome, should a character be exempt from being killed off if the character's death could have a backlash?
No, fuck the backlash. Like, honestly, everybody gets mad at me when I say that. I don't care. You can be mad at me all you want. Writers should give two shits about what the fans want. Write the best story.
Yep.
And guess what? There are many, Rob, you've brought up a ton of these to me. There are many examples all the time when creators and filmmakers and showrunners have done something exactly that the fans did not want, but they end up loving because it was the right thing to do. There's a reason you're the professional filmmaker and storyteller. Don't listen to dumb shits like me. You write your story. And if your story calls for a character to die off, then if that's the best story, if that's the avenue to the best story, then you write that story. And to hell with anybody else when everybody thinks of it.
Agreed.
If everybody else wants to be Kathy Bates in Misery, let everybody else be Kathy Bates in Misery. And let
Please
them be
don't.
miserable for it.
Yeah, I don't want everybody. I don't want
No,
that.
yeah, no, not if you're the filmmaker. But you write your best story. That's the
how-
important
Yep.
thing.
How you get things like Leaf on the Wind.
So go ahead and kill
Yes.
off Moon Knight in episode 3. It's gonna be great.
But would that be best for the character?
But would that be best for a show called Moon Knight? That's the question. All right, what's next?
Wilson Ruleman. Hey guys, I just discovered Lars von Trier's films and holy crap. I've seen The House That Jack Built and Melancholia. I crave these types of movies.
I'm not gonna lie. I have watched almost every Lars von Trier movie. No, there's still a couple I haven't, but I don't feel a big need to watch the ones I haven't.
Did he do that one sci-fi movie?
He's done several.
I mean, the last one, the one that kind of flopped was the Valerian.
No, that's
no,
someone else,
Besson.
That- yeah, that Luc
his,
Besson. Yes,
his first movie was a science fiction movie called The Element of Crime. That's really interesting. And boy, I mean, Melancholia. Watch Antichrist. Enjoy that.
That's the one Willem Dafoe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
or
You see it
Breaking
once.
Waves with Bjork.
look. I'll say this: he's an artist,
Yeah.
but like, if you go and look at a movie like Mother with Jennifer not Houston,
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence with Steve Martin. If you go watch Mother, like there is no denying that is a movie made by an artist.
But that's Aronofsky.
Yeah, that was Aronofsky, but still, there's no denying that was a movie made by an artist. It's still dog shit. I mean, I still thought the movie was absolutely terrible, but you could see it was an artist's hands making it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lars von Trier, it's like, I can see there are going to be people who watch his movies that are like, oh my God, this is genius. This is genius.
I like Melancholia a
But
lot.
it's just, his stuff just doesn't work for me. But you're big into Melancholia and stuff like that. But I totally get why a lot of people would totally be into it. All right, what's next?
Drew W. How to catch Mr. Campea and crew when playing hide and seek. Simply yell game day.
Game day!
Pop out of the bushes.
That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good, Drew. All right, what's next?
Gotta love them movies. Hey everyone, I got promoted to production coordinator for the film company I work in Brooklyn.
Nice. Gotta love the movies.
Any tips or recommendations on how I don't screw this up? Thanks.
Well, I'm not a production coordinator.
Right.
I mean, look, this is the thing. You have to be so organized. Just listen, Paperwork is your friend. Write things down. Have a great program. There's lots of good programs. There's software made specifically for production coordinators to help write everything down. It doesn't matter. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not going to forget that. Doesn't matter. Write it down. Write it down. Digitize everything. Paper trail everything. Everything. Because not only does that protect you, it doesn't just protect the work. It protects you too, because when you document everything, then and this will happen, I guarantee you 12 times, when somebody says, I didn't say I'd do that. Let's see. Well, right here in the soft, you at that thing affirmed that you were going to take care of that action item right there. So yeah, it protects you. And it just makes sure things get done. Write down everything, document everything. That's the key of a coordinator.
That's the perfect advice, because I've been documenting how many times John says Batman Beyond will not get made.
Right. And
And it will not do well.
How many times have I been wrong about that in the last 10 years? Anybody? How many times have I been wrong about that in the last 10 years?
I'm talking about the future, John.
Nobody. Hey, listen.
The future, baby.
I have said, since Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, with its success, I've said, okay, now it is more possible today than ever that it could happen now. But for 10 years, I've had people tell me, John, within 3 years, we're going to Batman Beyond. I'm like, no, we're not. And everybody told me crazy. But here we are, 10 years later, still right.
The post-credit scene to The Flash is going to be Barry Allen disappears forever, and Terry McGinnis shows up and says, I need your help, to Michael Keaton's Batman.
With the red bat symbol on his chest.
Believers of Beyond.
And people are going to say, who the fuck is that? But no, but again.
They're going to know.
Again, now the circumstances have changed. We are now live in a world where Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse happened. And with that being as successful as it is, and winning an Academy Award, I think that, and I said this right after the movie, I said, well, this jumps up the possibility of it in a way that it hasn't before.
Like when HBO Max could make the Snyder Cut a reality.
Yeah, once the circumstances changed, once HBO came into reality, you and I said, okay, now that this HBO thing is here, now this could happen. And it did, eventually.
Anyways, congratulations for this guy's promotion. And just Master Chief that thing, man. Just take control of whatever you're in charge of.
And always show up to work
everything.
early.
Yeah, show up early, document everything. All right, what's next?
From Ryan Cleary. Hi, John. Thoughts on the 2 spin-off shows for Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes planned for HBO?
I heard something about that. I didn't read into it, though. I saw the headline. I'm like, oh, they're going to, with Robert Downey Jr. producing, but I don't think it's going to be him. Again, I haven't read the articles.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be him in it, though, which they've been talking for years. They're going to get him, Jude Law back together again. Guy Ritchie's going to come back. They're going to make the third one. I want a third Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah.
Same.
With that cast, especially after seeing Jude Law in Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, yeah.
Secrets of Dumbledore. He's great in that movie, by the way. I want to see that crew together again. I'm not really that interested in these spin-off shows. We'll see what happens. All right, what's next?
John D. John, would you ever consider directing a kick-started story-based film like Chris Stuckman is doing? I'm sure we'd all love to see and support that.
No, probably not. I wrote, financed, produced, directed a movie that's how I met Aaron Cummings and a bunch of other people who were in my film. I did that once. I did it on a $25,000 budget. Made a thing for a $25,000 budget. I'm super proud of it. It's total shit, but I'm super proud of it nonetheless. But one of the things I learned through that process was that I would direct again, but I'd really rather not. I've discovered I get my passion from producing. I'm really more, that's where my heart is producing stuff. And so I would probably want to be more of a producer. But listen, I'm never going to say never. I had you would know him, a Hollywood celebrity came to me sometime after I did my movie. Rob, I've told you this story. And they presented me a script and they said, I want you to direct this. Because they came to my premiere. I did a premiere of my movie in Hollywood and they came along as a guest of somebody else. And I got an email from them afterwards from a mutual friend, said they want to meet you for lunch. So I went down to Hollywood, had lunch with this person, and they presented me the script. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, I got stars in my eyes. I'm like, I got people coming to me asking me to direct stuff. And you gave me the script. Oh my God, it was bad. It was really bad. And I went and I asked permission. I said, hey, I've got one or two people that kind of advise me and help me. Are you cool if I show this to them? And they'll sign NDAs, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah. They said, sure. So I went to the directors of the Jason Statham Crank movies, my buddies, Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor. So I went to those guys and I said, look, here's this script. I actually think it's pretty bad, but I'm being offered a chance to direct a movie that's going to get funded. Should I do it? And they both looked at it and they came back and said, dude, don't do this movie because you will, number one, never be offered anything to direct again. And number two, you'll never want to direct anything else again. And so I turned it down at that point. And I'm glad I did, but I'm also glad because again, I think I'm more of a producer than anything else. I mean, I directed my documentaries, but that was even as the director of the documentary, I was really more of the producer of it, but I don't know.
Did that movie ever get made?
Yeah,
it never got made. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's called 40-Year-Old Virgin. It never did get
Inception was awesome anyways, John, without you.
Inception did okay without me. Yeah. All right. What's next?
From Leo Liang, I fell asleep a few times viewing Sonic 2 at AMC. But then I remembered, Nicole taught me that somehow boredom feels good in a place like this.
Wow.
Don't you judge the guy for falling
Leo.
asleep. You fell asleep.
I fell asleep because it was natural.
Not because of boredom.
It wasn't because of
Because you had a
boredom.
long work day.
Yeah, it was
very long
natural.
day.
Very long
baby.
day.
It was
That's
hot.
the
out. It was
only way
100
you
degrees
sleep.
outside.
I know I had some curly fries in my stomach.
You had to walk up those stairs.
I know, all recipe for a nice little 5 minutes, baby.
All right, what's next?
Casey Mack, one of two. Hey, John and crew, was wondering if you checked out the trailer for the new Amazon series called Outer Range. It stars Josh Brolin, and it looks like a Western setting with some type of sci-fi elements.
Yes.
Have you checked out the trailer yet?
Somebody wrote in about this yesterday. I had not seen it. Apparently, a couple of you guys have. Is it good?
The first trailer was really intriguing. I was
Yeah.
like, is there a sci-fi bent to this? The second trailer is like, oh, yes, there is. There's some strange hole in the ground that who knows what that is. I don't know.
It's
But
X-Files
let's hope
with
that people are being
cowboys.
branded. It looks like there might be a cult of some
Let's
kind.
hope it's not La Brea, too.
Dude, that's coming back.
Is
Is La
it?
Brea getting a second
I
season?
think it is.
I still have
Wow.
never seen season one.
Dude.
For
But just Ray
why?
warned me off.
I don't. Man, what a
Oh.
boy, that movie. Wow.
Boy, that movie.
That series, I'll tell you one thing, though. Manifest is better.
I'm telling you, I like that show, too. And I don't know why.
Oh, don't go that far.
I tapped out on that show after
I
3
watched
episodes.
Manifest. I don't know if I like Manifest. I love that it exists, though.
All right.
I think if you
what's-
check out that trailer, though, John, people have been saying it's Yellowstone meets the X-Files.
It
I
is.
think you're going to really, really be
All right.
intrigued by
That's-
it.
And it's got Josh Brolin. So.
Yeah.
Watch trailer 2, though.
All right. I'll
Josh
watch
Brolin
both.
just did a great
I'll
Hot
watch
Ones as
both.
well.
All right. What's next?
From Diego, could we see a Black Adam trailer at CinemaCon?
Absolutely.
I'll go one further. We could see Black Adam at CinemaCon.
Yes, we could.
Like this is what I know. There are going to be 3 surprise screenings, like full screenings at CinemaCon. One of them I am 1,000% convinced. Like I'm 100%. I put any amount of money on this. That one of them is going to be Top Gun. Top Gun will be one of those screenings. I'm 50% sure one of them is going to be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What the third one is, I have no idea. But Warner Brothers is doing a big presentation. And the surprise screenings usually come at those. And Black Adam, even though it's still a ways off, they've shown us movies that are ways off before. Black Adam, I'm not predicting it'll be Black Adam, but we're definitely going to get a Black Adam trailer, or at least footage that they'll show us.
Yeah.
But there is a 5% possibility they could show us the whole damn movie. So I don't know. Anything's possible, but I'm 100% sure we at the very minimum get footage.
Nothing will top the joy I got when they announced, we're going to show you Zookeeper.
I'm not kidding. We're sitting there in the theater and like, all right, and now we are pleased to present to you. What was it, Kevin James? And
Kevin James.
We're so proud and excited to show
Live.
to you, the CinemaCon audience, Zookeeper. And Ray's like, John, let's just go. I'm like, no, we're already here in the auditorium. I don't want to be embarrassed.
We're in the middle. These long rows. I mean, you'll trip even if you're the most careful. It's just so long. It's endless.
So we're going to stay and watch it. And we get 10 minutes into the movie, and all I hear beside me is, I'm like, and I started to nudge Ray. Ray, don't be asleep, man.
I know,
You're
like,
embarrass
that's
me.
rude.
We're
That's
here with
rude.
all the industry people. And like 5 minutes later, we look around, and there's like 100 people sleeping. and people getting up and walking out.
I'm
and
the trendsetter, baby.
and we're like, all right, Ray, I think it's safe that we can go because everybody else is walking out. And so, like, yeah, that was our experience there. All right, what's next?
All right, from Blackjack Hooligan, does Better Call Saul have the potential to be better than Breaking Bad? Just finished season 5 and was blown away at how they continue to keep me hooked.
I will tell you this. I've only seen the first 3 seasons. To me, the first 3 seasons of Better Call Saul are at least as good as the first 3 seasons of Breaking Bad. To me. So I don't know where it goes after that. I'm not caught up, but I'd say yes, it has the potential. I don't know for Will or not. Have you been keeping up with it?
No, but I watched the first season. I wanted to wait like I did with Breaking Bad, where I caught a few episodes, but then when I got the 50-gallon drum that had when the whole thing came out, I binged it in a week.
Me too.
That's what I'm waiting for.
You know, with that actor and that character, it has the potential to surpass it, for sure.
I've got a 6-scale figure of Saul.
And speaking of which, make sure you watch Nobody. Nobody's really, really good.
Nobody is really good.
All right, we need to really pick up the pace here. So
let's
let's
go.
keep going here. What's next?
Tyler Piper, what are your guys' thoughts on Pan's Labyrinth, my favorite film of all time? Possible movie club?
I need to see it.
Great
Great
film.
movie.
It's a great movie. You know what? I'm not going to say we will, but I could totally see us doing a movie club based on Pan's Labyrinth.
Yep.
It's imaginative. It's heartbreaking. It's wondrous as you're watching. I mean, yeah, it's a great. I mean, it's not my top. I'm not going to lie and say it's my top 20 favorite films of all time. It's not, but it's a marvelous.
It
movie.
is a marvelous movie.
All right, what's next?
Aaron Stanwood, good morning, Campea crew. Has anyone checked out Minx on HBO yet? I love the show.
I've
to
not
watch
even
it.
heard. of
Pretty
it.
good. Yeah,
What's the idea?
It's about a woman who has like in the 70s wants to do a magazine for empower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
empowerment
Oh,
women.
right.
Now, wait a minute, that's come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
had
It
no
just
idea
came
it's
out.
out.
We
Yeah.
were reporting that when the first
I
the
remember
story
Aaron
first came
was
out.
on the show,
Yeah.
and Aaron was all excited
It's
about it.
good.
The script is great. I got to read some scenes because I auditioned for it, and it's funny.
I had
I'm really
no
excited to
idea
watch
that it
it.
had
Funny.
debuted yet. Okay, I got to check it out. All right, what's next?
From Rick Staines, would y'all judge your boy over watching Sonic? Would y'all judge your boy for watching Sonic 2, or should I watch Everything Everywhere all at once instead?
Listen, I was very excited about going to see Sonic 2. I'm not going to judge you for going to see that. I mean, look, if you were to ask me, hey, John, I need some guidance. Do I go see this or do I go see that? I'm going to say go see the best movie of the year. Go see Everything Everywhere All at Once. But hey, the first Sonic's fun. It's great. You know you're going to go and be entertained. I wouldn't judge you for going to see Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Go see Sonic 2. I liked it. But then go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, I would reverse that, John, because everything always is not playing in a lot of screens.
It is now.
Right.
Oh, it is?
As of this
Because I
weekend,
would
it
say
is.
catch that one first before it, because
Yeah, it's been in limited release, but now it's,
Okay.
it's good. It's going
Okay.
wide now. All right, what's next?
From Remmer Bulldog again, sending in an almost $20 super chat.
Thank you, Remmer.
I absolutely believe that we've already seen the third personality of Moon Knight in episode 1. Somebody asked the coworker out, it wasn't Mark or Steven, so it had to be the third personality, which is Jake.
See, here's again, I was thinking along the same lines too, Remmer. But the one logic thing that stands in the way of that is people Mark talks to know him as Mark. People Steven talk to know him as Steven.
Or Scotty.
Or Scotty, as the case may be. If Jake asked out the girl, she would know him as Jake. So that's the one thing. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised, Remmer. So I don't know. We'll have to. Rob, what do you think? Could we see Jake here?
Maybe. I mean, as far as comic books go, that's a foundational alter ego of Mark Spector's. So I could see them doing that.
All right.
But I don't see him. I don't see Jake in the story they've told us so far. You know?
Okay. All right. What's next?
Noah Drazen. Saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2 yesterday with my brother. I actually really enjoyed it. I hated the first one, so I had low expectations. Tails and Knuckles definitely add to a lot to it.
I'm not going to lie, Noah. That surprises me.
Yeah.
It's not that you liked it. It surprises me that you didn't like the first one, but that you did like the second. One of our viewers of the show came up to Ray and I after the movie and said hi.
Mr.
And
47.
Mr. 47,
nice.
one of our longtime viewers, came up and talked to us, and he made a really good point that I completely agree with. He goes, I think if people like the first one, they'll like the second one. If they didn't like the first one, they won't like the second one. And thinking about it, I thought, I think you're probably right. So it kind of surprises me to hear you say that, Noel, but I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good time, dude. We had a good time too. All right, what's next?
From old Danny Boy. I would love to see a Star Trek intervention episode for Rob so he can really walk through completely what he doesn't like about new Star Trek. I don't like it either, by the way.
John, you know what?
Rob
John
is
would
the
love
man.
that. I can just see John. John, you should schedule that as soon as possible and really get on that.
Whole new show.
John would love nothing more than to do that episode.
What I have to tell you guys is that every day. Actually, the other day, I even before the show starts, because we're all in here a half hour before it starts, except for Ray. Ray's always late, but we get in here like a half hour before the show starts. We set cameras, make sure everything's right, give ourselves a little bit of margin, and every day, Rob starts going on about something new Star Trek, and finally the other day, I had to interrupt him because I think he was talking to you. Mm-hmm. I finally interrupt because I'm sitting here at my keyboard trying to get everything, all the production stuff ready and blah, blah, blah. And I finally had to say, I think I said this verbatim. I turned to Rob and said, Rob, I love you so much, but goddamn, can I get through one morning without you complaining about Star Trek? Can I get through one morning, please?
He's not lying. He's not lying. And yeah, it's at least I'm committed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you did today, though. We just talked about puppies in the house. And,
not one.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything because, yeah.
Okay.
Not
I save
once.
it for my own. You know what? I save a lot of my vitriol and ire for my own channel.
Ooh. So breaking. So we found out yesterday. We talked about this on the show yesterday, that the Academy had moved up its hearing date about Will Smith from April 18th to today. Mm-hmm. And apparently the results are now out. We are being told in the live chat, I got to see if I lost it here. I think I misplaced it. Where did it go? Will Smith banned from attending Oscar ceremony and Academy events for 10 years, just announced.
10 years?
But if that does not include banning from being eligible for Oscars, this isn't that big of a deal. It just means if he's nominated for an Oscar, he just can't be there to accept it. But I'll have to go in and look into this to see if that includes being banned from Oscar eligibility. But right now, Fanboy Project in the live chat is telling us that Will Smith has been banned from attending the Oscar ceremony and Academy events for 10 years. Just got to find out if that includes, because if that doesn't include, 10 years sounds like a long time, but if that doesn't include Oscar eligibility, then it's really not that bad. Because that's the part Will Smith cares about. He doesn't care about showing up at the Oscars. He cares about whether or not he can be eligible to win another Oscar. And if it's 10 years without banning his eligibility, that's not so bad. If it's 10 years and that includes banning his eligibility, that's pretty
bad.
Stiff.
The statement that IndieWire posted from the Academy seems to suggest that it is just the actual telecast, an event that he can't attend. Because what they're saying is Mr. Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy events or programs in person or virtually, including but not limited to the Academy Awards.
All right, so if that's it, it's getting off pretty light.
I just want to point out this is a very deft way to have us stop talking about Star Trek.
This whole thing has been a coordinated effort to stop talking about Star Trek. Oh, I'm sure
well played, John.
We will talk about this. We will talk about this more on Monday, I'm sure. All right, let's keep going here. What's next?
From PMac. Can't wait his time into Danger Zone. My greatest memories of being a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, going to Blockbuster every Friday movie night.
I'll tell you what, it is so great. We've talked about this a couple times. The fact that I look at the upcoming movie schedule and there's new movies every week. New movies I'm looking forward to seeing and going to. This weekend is pretty great. I mean, got Everything Everywhere All at Once, Sonic. I mean, I didn't end up liking Ambulance. I didn't hate it, but hey, a lot of people looking forward to Ambulance. I mean, it feels like April. We've been saying this since last month, that April's like the first month that's back to normal for movie going. And it is pretty exciting, PMac. All right, what's next?
Elizabeth Hirado. Okay, so I was gone from the chat when you asked me about Doctor Strange tickets and A-List. The order wouldn't go through with or without A-List. I think this only happened for Doctor Strange showing.
Okay, see, I thought you were saying that you did eventually get your tickets, and I was just wondering if once you got them,
Was it with A-list?
did that include A-list? That's the thing. But thank you for following up with us, Elizabeth. But hey, you don't have to send in a super chat. Just email me even. Just email me at john@thejohncampeashow.com and let me know if once you got your tickets,
Pop
you
in
got
the
with
chat.
A-list.
Yeah, or in the live
Or
chat.
just in
That's
the
the
live chat.
fastest
Yeah,
way.
yeah, just throw it in the live chat there. All right, thanks for that, Elizabeth. All right, what's next?
Suthius in a Krakozoian accent. Ray, would you like to get an eat to bite, a bite to eat? I actually didn't mind the movie at all.
What are we talking about?
The greatest Steven Spielberg movie of all
No.
time. Terminal, baby.
You know what Ann said to me yesterday?
What?
Your sister, my wife,
Come on.
she says to me yesterday, she made some kind of joke about the terminal. And I made some, oh, come on, no, it's just not good. And then I goes, you've never even watched the terminal. I'm like, what did you say? She goes, you've never watched the terminal. I said, yes, I have. I've seen the terminal. She goes, oh, I just assumed the only explanation for you saying bad things about the terminal was that you didn't see it. So I don't know what it is about you and your sister.
What?
I like this movie.
Terminal is the cute movie. Just let it
Is
go,
it?
John. Is it? You didn't like it?
No.
Wow.
No.
No, it's not good. It's the one Steven Spielberg bad movie. I think.
Private Movie Club next Tuesday.
Fan Jester in the live chat is like, poll. No,
No.
not doing a poll for freaking Terminal. All right, what's
I would
next?
do a movie club with that though.
Private has to be private behind John's back.
CJ
Well, you can
Rebirth.
upload it to the channel.
Okay, we need to move on. What's
CJ
next?
Rebirth. Loved Sonic 2 more than the first one. So happy to finally see my boy Tails in a movie. ...
I'll tell you what, not being a player of Sonic the Hedgehog, the end of the first Sonic, when Tails pops up in the post-credits, the audience I was in lost their freaking minds. I'm like, who the hell cares about this? What is this yellow fuzzy thing? Like, why people, but seriously, people went crazy in the post-credits for the first one when they saw Tails on there. I didn't know it was...
There's the hardcore Sonic fans like there were hardcore Scream fans. There's
Yeah,
people with the gear, Sonic shirts on. There's a fan base, a big fan base for lots of things.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Glad you got that, CJ. All right, what's next?
City of Swift. Doing my taxes today.
Ooh.
Then going to the movies to get out of this heat and watching
Yay.
Sonic and Ambulance. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Hey, and I hope you have a good time. I wasn't a big fan of Ambulance, but there's good stuff in there. But a bunch of people are enjoying it. It's got positive critic ratings, so I hope you have a good time at both. I know you're going to have a good time at Sonic, and I hope you have a great time with Ambulance. At least I hope you had a better time at it than I did. I hope you have as good of a time as Aaron did, because Aaron had a blast with it. So I hope you do too, Sidious, and get through those taxes. Just make sure you go slow enough to not make any big mistakes. All right, what's next?
Carter the bassist. Saw Everything Everywhere last night and struggled with not sobbing uncontrollably toward the end. I related to Waymond entirely too much.
I don't want to give anything away, but this movie is such a beautiful mixture of emotionality, fun and humor, batshit crazy bonkersness, terrific performances. I don't know that I've ever I don't think I've liked Jamie Lee Curtis in anything this much since True Lies. Jamie Lee Curtis is so good, but everybody in it is great. Go and check it out. I hope you have a blast. Or I'm glad you had a blast, Cardo. And it's, you get to the end, you get emotional. It's really good. What were you gonna say, Ray?
I was just gonna ask, what is the worst Russo brother movie that they have made?
Well, if you're talking about either as producers or directors, they've done a couple. That one they did with,
so there's been a couple. I just wanted to know if they're...
I did not like the one they did with Chadwick Boseman, 21 Bridges. I thought that was a pretty piss poor movie.
Okay.
I didn't like the one they did with Tom Holland.
Cherry. They directed that.
I thought that was not a good movie. I'm in the minority when it comes to Extraction. I didn't think Extraction was good at all. I thought it had a great chase scene in it and some really good action, but I didn't think the movie was good at all. But this is the first Russo brothers project as directors or producers that I've really loved since their MCU stuff. But it's great. Good question though. All right, what's next? Thank you for that, Cardo, by the way. All right, what's next?
With a $20 super chat too, nonetheless. So thank you so much. The Hannah cast just got an autographed picture of Judi Dench from Cats. Hold up. Do you think Judi Dench is famous for Cats?
No.
Dame Judi Dench.
Just say Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just saying he's got it autographed from Cats.
Is it a photo of her in Cats? I have questions, the Hannah cast.
If
I
so,
want to know which version of her cat character is it? Sans butthole? Or?
Yeah.
okay,
Sarah Button?
I would say this though, Hannah, in all seriousness, you hold on to that.
That's amazing.
You hold on to that, and in 10 years, you go to Pawn Stars, like, or wait 20 years. Hopefully, it's a very long time to when Dame Judi Dench is no longer with us, and you go with an autograph photo from what I'm sure most people will agree is her worst film. That actually, I contend to you, will make it add to its value.
That's fair.
So hang on to that.
Can you imagine being the person who actually went up and got that autographed? Like Judi Dench, of all the movies she's been in, of all the great work she's done in her life, could you sign this?
Oh, she'd love that.
What's the name of the main guy from The Wire? The main guy, the main actor from The Wire.
Well, you just
who
Idris
played
Elba.
McGilty.
Dominic West.
Dominic West. Thank you. So Dominic West was in John Carter,
Yeah.
and I go to interview him, and I sit down with him to interview him for John Carter, and we got about 5-10 minutes while they're setting some stuff up. So I'm talking to him, and like, by the way, I loved you in Johnny English, the Rowan Atkinson thing. I loved you in that. He goes, that's totally not what I thought you were going to say. I'm like, I'm just dead serious. I thought you were awesome in that movie. He goes, no one has ever said that to me. And I had so much fun making that. And it was just totally
It's the best way to do it. My dad got an autograph from Tim Curry for me. And my dad is very, very shy. So he had to like muster up all his courage
Please
to
say
go
it was
do
from
it.
Three Musketeers.
It was for Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh my gosh.
And because it was, he was like, is your daughter a big like Rocky Horror fan? He was like, she knows every word to Muppet Treasure Island. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And just ran away.
All right. What's next?
From Carl Jr. Happy Friday, Campea Squad. Did any of you guys see the new Hot Ones with the Mad Titan Josh Brolin? Another funny and great interview by Sean.
I thought that
Yeah,
one
I
was
did.
out a while ago. Was that a
No.
recent
No, it was
one?
just released a couple days ago.
Did he do an... Is this his second one? Because I
No.
could have swore there was another one he did. Okay.
This is his first time.
Did you guys see the Josh Brolin one?
It's great. He's such a weirdo.
I like Josh Brolin.
Yeah, I haven't
so
watched. I love
fun.
his sense of humor.
Yeah, he's so funny. I love him.
Key
It's
and
a great
Peele,
one.
Key and Peele's still my favorite Hot Ones, just because of the outrageous things. It's
I
like,
never
my
knew
eyes
they
are
did
bleeding.
Hot
My eyes
Ones.
are... I don't know. No,
I
they
never
didn't.
know they did a Hot Ones. That's amazing. All right, what's next?
From Odolandu, that's just some support. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Elizabeth Arado again. Went to a Harkin movie theater. Holy shit, it was wonderful. But here's the best part. No Nicole commercial. They also have 2 short Harkin commercials.
That's great. I'll tell you what, Elizabeth. I've just only gone to AMC theaters for a long time. One, because I worked for them for a long time. But even then, after that, they were just always the ones closest to me. And I love the, even though I have a love-hate relationship with AMC, I love going to those theaters. I just think it's a really good movie. I love the AMC Prime. But we went to a screening of Fantastic Beasts the other night at a Regal, in a Regal IMAX theater in Irvine at the Irvine Spectrum. I've never been in there before. It was a glorious movie theater. It was really. Now I've been in some Regals. I'm not a big Regal fan.
I love them.
They tried to hire me once.
Ooh.
Yeah, they tried to hire me once when word got out that I was leaving AMC, and I took a meeting with the head of the online stuff for Regal, and I remember I sat down with them, and just a little small chat talk at first. And then they said, okay, so let's talk about this. Would you seriously come to work for Regal? And I said, well, here's the thing. First thing that would have to happen is you have to stop buying fake views on your YouTube channel. And they looked like a little kid who got caught stealing a cookie when I said that. Because at the time, Regal was trying to build their own online thing because we were taken off at AMC. And I would go to Regal's webpage, and they made terrible videos. And this video would have 12,000 views and 18,000 views and blah. I'm like, huh.
And no
Really?
comments.
1 comment.
Yeah.
3 likes. I'm like, all right. So when I sat down with them, I'm like, hey, first thing you got to do is you got to stop buying fake views on your YouTube videos. And they looked at me like, how did you, what are you talking about? I said, come on, don't treat me like I'm stupid. You guys have been doing this clearly, whatever, but that's got to stop. Like, we're not going to do that if I come there, because if I come there, if we start with 300 views a video, that's where we start. But we're not going to lie to our audience and da-da-da. But anyway, that was that. But I got to tell you, this Regal experience was a really good one. That was a really, really good Regal experience. And it made me start to wonder, maybe I should get myself a Regal Unlimited card and scrap the
still got
AMC
mine.
A-list.
It's another
Well,
option. At least it's another
did
option.
it.
Another option.
Let me just bring it back to what our viewer said.
Harkins?
Harkins. Now, I just want to say I had my first Harkins experience with Morbius.
That's right.
And in my new where I'm living now, in my new digs, and it was a wonderful place. I had never been into one before, and I had a great time. Really excited because it's going to be my new home base of operations. It's within 10 minutes of my house. Like, all right.
Remind
nice.
me again, which is the one with the seats that move? Because I want to see. I want to see something.
So that's the 4DX that you can
Where's
do
that
at
at?
Regal.
Is that
On Regal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look for a movie
what's
I
the
can
one
watch.
at Cinemark? Cinemark has one
Oh,
as well.
yeah, they call it something else.
Yeah,
now.
they call it
All right.
something else.
Okay, let's keep going here. Thank you for that, Elizabeth, and I'm glad you had a good time at your Harkins. All right, what's next?
Salamander Man. Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling.
Peter
What do you
Yan's
got,
going to
John?
beat his ass just like he did last time.
Okay.
Aljamain Sterling is a pretender champion. He knows he's a pretender champion. He was getting beat when he was fighting Jan before, and Jan had a brain freeze, threw an illegal knee, got disqualified even though he was winning the fight. And Aljamain Sterling has, for the last however long it's been since that fight happened, has been walking around pretending that he's the champion of the world, and he's not. Peter's going to beat his ass. It's going to be a very good card, by the way. Volkanovski is fighting. I mean, it's just going to be a good UFC. And very
Is that
much,
in Vegas?
no, it's not in
Oh,
Vegas. Not in Vegas though. All right, what's next?
All right, from Chuck the Mystery. Hey, John, 29 minutes of trailers before Sonic last night, but I loved it. The first one was slightly better, but Jim Carrey was hilarious as always.
He was hilarious as always. You know what theater didn't have 29 minutes of trailers? Mine, because I walked in counting on that. Turned out I missed half of the first scene. Oh, well, whatever. I'm glad you had a good time, though, Chuck. All right, what's next?
Mike Joyce, wow, that Severance finale. Anyone watching? Yeah.
Can't talk about it because I have not watched the finale yet. La, 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 la. No
fine.
talking about it.
We'll move on
I'm
to-
probably watching it in the car on the way to Vegas today. So,
There you
yeah.
go.
All right, what's next?
Fifi. ... Chris hopefully knows the quote. LOL. We don't. Most
Now
of us
we
do
all
now.
do.
We just need Robin on
See,
it.
that is a great spoiler quote because without context, you have no idea what we're talking about. It's not going to spoil anything, but yes, ... I laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off. All right, what's next?
Blackjack Hooligan again. John, can you and Rob have a Star Trek debate show?
Well,
Oh boy.
no. Look, there's nothing to debate.
Man, he flexing already, baby.
There's nothing
He
to
flexing
debate.
right there already.
First of all, I don't care about Star Trek nearly as much as Rob does. So there's that. And I like it because it's good. I mean, to me, it's entertaining.
Oh.
It's fun and imaginative. To Rob, it's not, and that's fine. So there's no point in debating it. It is what it is.
I forgot to mention, I started episode 1 of the Lower Decks. I watched the cartoon.
That's one I haven't watched because I just thought it looked too stupid. So, but you,
It's
didn't you
okay.
say it wasn't that bad?
It's okay.
Was it you
Yeah,
or was it somebody else?
No, it's acceptable. I can watch it. I can watch it without wanting to scoop my eyeballs out with a teaspoon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw the trailer. Remember, you and I talked about when the trailer first came out. I'm like, nothing in that trailer made me even slightly grin.
I mean, to me, I fundamentally object to what it is, but for what that said, for what it is, it clearly is made. McMahon, the creator of the show, used to have a Twitter feed like Star Trek: The Next Generation season 8. He clearly does love Star Trek. So there is a lot of love in it. I just object. They keep trying to turn Star Trek into something else. You know, they want it to be Star Wars. They want it to be this incredible mainstream franchise when it's always been and always will be a niche franchise. And their efforts, and I get it, from a business decision, they want to make it appealing to everybody. They've now got a show on Nickelodeon. They've got a comedy animated show.
I wanted to ask you about that because there's that other one that also did not look any good to me. So I
Prodigy.
haven't watched it. Prodigy. Again, those are two shows. Even though I am somebody who appreciates new Star Trek, I saw those trailers. I'm like, nothing about this is working for me. Have you checked out Prodigy?
Yeah,
I have not.
And look, I know some of the writers on Prodigy. I think that Prodigy is a well done show. I think it's beautifully designed, great to look at. To me, it's just not Star Trek. Star Trek is fundamentally about the future of humanity. in the cosmos, a post-scarcity humanity that has overcome its problems. When you start making other kinds of shows, it's no longer Star Trek.
All right, let's move on here. What's next?
But Prodigy's not bad.
From Mufasa, new name for the show, Cinephile Isle. Also, I think Mark took on the Steven identity to use the museum to find the scarab.
That's not a bad theory.
I like that.
I like that.
That's not a bad theory at all, Mufasa. At all, actually. And Cinephile Isle, it's a fun name, but because our show kind of now, it's not just about movies. It's also about, TV shows, streaming, things like that. I don't know if Cinephile fits it. So that's why I haven't gone there. But it's a pretty creative name. But I do like that theory that he just kind of took over at times in there, masquerading as Steven to track down information on the scarab. I don't know that that's true, Mufasa, but that's as good of a theory as I've heard so far. Yeah,
like
so
it.
let's keep our eyes open for that. Well done. Well thought out there. All right, what's next?
AV Reviews, will the movie news feed return with fact checker Jonathan?
It's possible yet unlikely. So we used to do a segment called Movie News Feed that was like a 5-minute segment that was pre-recorded that would run through like 5 or 6 other smaller news stories that we don't discuss on the show. I love it. I really do. But it's very labor intensive. It takes many hours to put together a 5-minute segment on the show that frankly not a lot of people watched outside of the show, because we would put it up as its own segment as well, and it would by a factor of 2 or 3 times be the smallest viewed thing we would do for the amount of effort that goes into making it. So I'd say there's a 10% chance it makes a return. We'll see how that goes. All right, what's next?
Clever name. Did you see the Severance finale? If so, what'd you think? Love the show. It's getting a season 2.
Again, no, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to probably watch it on the road to Vegas today, and we will definitely talk about it on Monday. We will definitely talk about it. You guys got to remind me to talk about it on Monday, and we will. All right, what's next?
From Julian, hey, John and crew, love the show.
Thank you so much, Julian. It's always neat when somebody wants to write in just to say something encouraging. I appreciate that very much, Julian. All right, what's next?
From James Diesel, Pattinson was going to be my first hot toy, but then I realized Kenobi must be coming.
Yes, but even if there is a Kenobi one, has one been announced yet?
Not for the Kenobi show.
So you're easily going to be able to get the Batman one first. Yeah. So unless you're only budgeting for yourself to get one, then maybe you do want to wait for the Kenobi.
I mean, it's funny. I have 2 Kenobi hot toys. I have the New Hope Kenobi hot toy, and I have the Revenge of the Sith Kenobi hot toy, and they're both great. And then there's a Mythos Kenobi that Sideshow put out that's also great.
All right, what's next?
From PMAC, with a $20 super chat.
Oh, thank you, PMAC.
Renting Top Gun. As much as I love that movie, I'm surprised I never became a fighter pilot, but I did play a shirtless game of beach volleyball.
Listen, who didn't want to be a fighter pilot after watching Top Gun? I think we all did, because we were all kids and stuff like that, and that movie's like, dear heavens, everybody wanted to be a fighter pilot after that.
Those dreams were all taken if you played the Top Gun on Nintendo, because landing that plane was like nothing else. It never happened in my house. It probably never happened.
Like landing on the aircraft carrier?
Yeah, that part in that game is one of the hardest things ever.
You know what? I don't remember the game at all, but now that you mentioned that, I'm like, that's why I said on the aircraft carrier, I think I have memories of trying to land that plane on the aircraft carrier. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I never played it, that game.
Playing with the boys. All right, what's next?
From Jerome, rise, my turd friends. I think that's from The Boys Diabolical, the poop episode.
Oh, is it? Oh,
think so.
I still haven't watched it.
I have to see that poop episode.
The poop episode's fun.
I still haven't seen any of it because, I mean, I was so turned off by the trailer. Even though I love The Boys, I was so turned off by the animated stuff.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either.
But I've heard it's good.
It's fun.
People said it's fun.
Real violent Looney Tunes.
I'll have to check it out. All right, what's next?
From Walden, hey crew. Rob, did you see the Richard E. Grant classic Loki hot toy?
Bro.
It includes alligator Loki and Throg. Glorious purpose. Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
Yes, I did. The face sculpts are out. It comes with 2. Amazing. And So Toys is doing one as well that's going to drop pretty soon. But that Hot Toys one, amazing.
Oh, did you get it?
I ordered. Well, I pre-ordered the So
of course
Toys,
you did.
but the Loki Hot Toy is not going to come out for like a year and a half.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
From Remember Bulldog again. The 3rd episode of Halo was solid. Wasn't great in a few issues, but I'm still enjoying it.
You know what? I went to sit down to watch the new Halo yesterday. Then my phone rang and something came up that I had to leave the studio to go and take care of. And then we had a 3 o'clock of a screening to do. So I still haven't watched episode 3.
If you do, you can wait for 4 and just watch them as a bulk, because that's what I wish I
want to
did.
get caught up though, because people are going to be asking questions.
Bro,
I want to be able to answer them.
No one's brought this up today, but can I give a shout out to Tokyo Vice? HBO's new series, Michael Mann's new series, Tokyo Vice.
That already dropped?
Yes. The first 3 episodes dropped. It's great.
Oh, that's good to hear, because
Yeah.
I remember we watched the trailers for it and I said,
That's with
West Side
Anson
Story
Elgort,
Boy.
right?
Ansel Elgort.
Anson
Anson
Elgort,
Elgort.
yeah.
I remember we watched the trailer going, okay, the trailer feels good. Anson Elgort feels miscast. How is he in it?
I liked him in it.
Awesome.
It's a little odd, but I love the show. I love the visuals. I read the book that this is actually based on. It's a nonfiction book. I love everything about this show. First of all, I'm a Japanophile anyway, so anything set in Japan, I'll watch, but it's really good.
All
I
right.
was going to load that book on my Kindle for my train ride this weekend. Is it?
You're gonna like it.
Okay, sweet.
All right. What's next?
From Ahmed, I am super, super pumped for Doctor Strange.
It's close. It's no longer talking months. We are now talking weeks.
Yeah.
We're talking just weeks away from Doctor Strange. We are all pumped for it, Ahmed. All right. What's next?
Drew L. Ray. Hey all, your discussion about animation yesterday really touched me. I have many friends that constantly disrespect animated things. Fuck that, Chris. You are a real actor. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you, Drew. I have an unhealthy amount of self-esteem and confidence, so I appreciate you. But when people in the chat are like, no, it's not, I'm like, you're not an actor, so I really don't care about your opinion. I don't know. That might not be the
But
best way to
animation
go through
isn't
things.
real, like a real movie is.
Like a real movie?
Yeah.
Like, ugh. It gets my hackles
Yeah.
up.
It's just about damn time. It's
Yeah.
about damn time.
The animator I used to sit on the Metrolink with, who animated for Bob's Burgers, the first thing I asked him was, "Oh, can I get some Bob's Burger stuff?" And then he started explaining to me the situation that the animators are in that,
Yep.
even for that show, and I just said, "That's incredibly awful. Sounds
Yeah.
awful."
Animators and visual effects artists.
By the way, I joke about animation, but animation is a vibrant part of Hollywood history. The technology, stop motion animation. I mean, also, if you look back at Fantasia, like there was a guy named Herman Schulteis who actually created physical effects that were later used and rotoscoped and translated into animation. That is amazing. So animation parallels the development of all cinema throughout its inception.
Yeah.
From its inception to today.
All right. What's next?
From Leo Liang, sitting in a $20 super chat.
Thank you, Leo.
Happy Friday, Campea crew. Hashtag Master Cheek.
See, that's again why I got to watch it right away.
Master Cheeks.
I gotta
Yeah, see
get,
that
I gotta
booty.
get caught up on this. I gotta watch it right away because Leo is sending in things like this. I gotta be able to comment on, but I haven't seen it yet. I gotta see the Master Cheeks, Ray.
No,
Master Cheeks.
no, you don't.
Let's see the booty.
All right, thank you for that, Leo, and thanks for sending that in. All right, what's next?
From Ryan again. Hi, Rob. I love and agree with all your thoughts on current Trek. Hope it gets better. Thoughts on Strange New Worlds trailer? Huge fan, Rob. You rock.
Look, the Strange New Worlds trailer looks promising, and I have to admit it's going back to the original series aesthetic to a certain extent. The only thing that gives me trepidation is it's this. For me, it's all about the writing of Star Trek. It's the same writing crew. That's what worries me.
I sat down last night and I found, because I went down a YouTube rabbit hole and came up in my recommendation list, this 8.5 minute master trailer for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is basically the various trailers, the individual character spots and stuff like all put into this one video. And I watched all 8.5 minutes of it, and I think it looks incredible. I'm very excited. I think Anson Mount, I know even you like the casting of Anson Mount in the
Yeah,
role.
he's great. He was great.
I think it looks great. I particularly love the blind Andorian who's going to be the engineer. And they were talking the thing. He's like, we are all put in this life. No, you humans are so obsessed with death. Do you not agree that we only die once our intended purpose is fulfilled? And then they say, what is your purpose? My purpose is to fix that which is broken. I'm like, oh fuck, I love this character already. And he's a blind engineer. I'm like,
It's an A&R.
I'm totally on board with it. I'm very excited for the show. Might be dog crap, who knows? We'll find out. But I'm excited so excited for it so far. All right, what's next?
Crashing Coyote. Hey, crew, why is the Moon Knight third main personality a main topic? We know the answer. The security guard calls Steven Scotty twice, literally in both episodes. How much more obvious can it be?
Less obvious than you think. It literally is probably just a running joke because everybody else there knows him as Steven. So why wouldn't everybody there know him as Scotty if he was Scotty? So it's probably just a running joke that he keeps, that he's so unremarkable of a person, the guy always forgets his name. It's possible. It's possible there's more to it than that, which is why we discussed it a little bit earlier. Plus, somebody asked the girl out and all that kind of stuff. So it's possible, but I don't think it is as obvious as you may think it is, Crashing. All right, what's next?
From Aiden, favorite quote from Ray so far. I guess that's what we got. I guess that's us. We get no lightsabers, but we get to trade talk and do math. Killed my stomach when I heard that.
It's funny. I downloaded, that is one of the funniest moments in the history of the show, but I downloaded the Skywalker Saga Lego game yesterday. And I started.
Tell me they're in it.
I'm so surprised you showed up today.
I started playing with it. I started playing it, and I started right at episode 1, and it got to the point where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon show up at the Trade Federation ship, and they talk to me. He goes, of course, as you know, our blockade is perfectly legal. And all I could hear was Ray's voice in my head as they were doing that. Our blockade is
great.
perfectly legal.
They're in it.
Yeah,
we
they're
made
in
it, baby.
All right, what's next?
Jesse Price. Hey, John and crew, it's my birthday today.
Happy birthday, Jesse.
Oh, you're going to have such a fun time for your birthday seeing Sonic. I love that.
Oh, that is, hey, Jesse, may you have a marvelous day and a marvelous year ahead of yourself for whichever year this is for you. And I hope you have a great time watching Sonic. We had fun watching, and I hope you will too. All right, what's next?
From Fredo, hey, John, it's payday.
Payday! Is that New Zealand? Is that the New Zealand one that's sent in there? It's always good for that. Go see some movies, get yourself a hot toy.
Yeah, that's right. It's Hot Toy
Payday's
Day.
always a great day. All right, what's next?
Christopher Baker, did you catch the possible Doctor Doom Castle Easter egg in episode 1 on Moon Knight?
No, that never happened. As far as I understand, that never happened, actually. I think somebody put together an image of it, but I believe that was on April 1st.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think that was a real thing. All right, what's next?
Then we're just ending with a whole bunch of support. Josh Holbert, Sarah Rose, Michael Hamilton, Marie, Bush and Ryu Cat. Woo!
Oh, guys, thank you so much for sending all that in just to support us. And guys, that'll do it for today's and this week's installments of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making this show a part of your day and your week. May you guys have a wonderful weekend ahead of yourselves. And don't forget to come back and join us again next week for more John Campea Show. Listen, guys, we got a couple more videos coming this weekend, even though the John Campea Show is done. Rob has got a mailbag episode coming a little bit later today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a channel members Q&A chat. If you are a channel member, keep your guys' eyes open in the community tab there for the message going out for you guys to send in questions. And then we've got sometime this weekend a new episode of Designing Hollywood is also going up, so keep your guys' eyes open for that. And then, of course, on Monday, we'll be back for the next installment in a brand new week of the John Campea Show. We've only got 3 more weeks, guys, left in this studio. In this converted garage studio, only 3 weeks left until we move into our new studio and our new offices. I'm very excited about that. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody sitting around here with me. We got Robert Meyer Burnett, we got Ray Orr, we got Chris Carr, we got myself, John Campea. That'll do it for us for now, guys. Thanks a lot for being here, and until next time, ...